What'd it be like, freaky deaky?
What'd it be like?
I used to have a friend that said this to me every time I saw him, young, dazzling urbanite. Every time I see him, he go, Catman, what'd it be like, freaky deaky?
That is amazing.
I love that.
What'd it be like? I wouldn't even know how to respond.
One of the great moments of that, well, and you're from, the outside of the city, but my friend Marty was from Cross Lake, Wisconsin. And I'm standing there with him. So he was not a country guy, but he was not an urbanite.
Sure.
Most definitely, right?
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, and this same guy walks over to Marty and me, and he looks at Marty this time, because I asked him to. He goes, Marty, what'd it be like, freaky deaky? And there was a long pause, and he goes, come again? Come again. I thought it was phenomenal. Different culture, man. That's the whole deal. Do you think we'll ever understand we have several different cultures in America, that we're all not just American?
I think that'll be just fine.
You think so, really?
Yeah.
I hope you're right. I
Wow.
hope you're right.
We have no way of proving either way.
Yeah,
so-
that's true. Weren't you going to leave your husband for Bill Cosby?
Yeah, I was working on it. And
I thought so, yes.
He
Well,
seems tied up now, so I was going to wait on that.
yeah, she was going to get together with Bill Cosby. Now he's being sued by another group of people.
Yeah,
so.
I figure I'll wait till figures that out.
Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Bill Cosby sued by another accuser. What a horrible human being. Did you ever meet him?
No, did you?
Yes. Did you ever work with him, Rudy?
No,
You ever
thank-
meet him?
What was he
No,
like?
thank
One of the most arrogant sons of bitches I've ever met. God, he was arrogant. It was usually when people get that big, when you're on stage and you're
Yeah.
in movies and you're in television, you got the whole deal. Somebody's asking me about this yesterday. When people they asked specifically about like when Peter Falk came in the studio or and Jane Fonda came in the studio, or you just keep going down the list of all these people. And I said the really truly big stars are very nice people.
Yeah.
They are very, very accommodating, very nice. It's these guys who think they're a big deal that are the problem.
Why was he rude? Was he quiet? Was he...
Cosby?
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. He walked into the room, and Alex was there, my wife was there, and I was there. Andy had no interest in meeting him. He's like, I don't want to do that.
Because you guys went to his stand-up.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I remember you,
Out of
Alex,
Mystic
talking
Lake.
about... Yeah.
Was it Treasure Island or Mystic Lake? I don't remember. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. But we walk into the room, and he's sitting there, and he stands up, walks over, and he goes, well, I suppose the first thing I'm going to have to do is give you an autograph. I'm like, oh, God, really?
And you're like, actually, yes, here you go. Please sign this. That's why I came here.
Yeah.
In here. Yeah.
Goodbye.
See ya.
The
Take
first
care.
thing I would have to do is give you an autograph.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Tom, you're such an autograph collector.
Oh, it's just nonstop.
He's got his wall of autographs. He loves when people scribble on a piece of paper.
It is nonstop,
You're like,
baby.
yeah, can you get Felicia Rashad's autograph?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually why I came here today.
Now, that I might do, actually.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
None like you, Alex, are Catherine are not going to care about anything
No,
like that.
Right.
So,
Well, first of all, Alex, you probably know this because of your life, but Andy and Alex have grown up since they were little children. They've been around very, very famous people. It doesn't mean anything to them.
well, I think they enjoy it.
Yeah, they do,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like me and Alex will text back and forth if we have the same guest on the show, and we'll be like, "Oh, this person's on," and we have our favorite people. Like we both
Right.
love when Mike Veck is on. We are always
Veck's
like
a great guy,
Brad
yeah.
Blanks. We love, So we have our favorite people, but I don't think it really matters the level of stardom, and neither of us are kind of trying to collect things from
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true.
I don't have a room full of guitar picks that I care about or signatures.
Yeah.
But so then what did he talk to you guys after then?
We just had to sit there and listen to him ramble. And the sad part of it is I don't know if he had a stroke or what the hell it is, but he's got that milky eye that
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of wanders. That's hard to do. I focused on his nose the whole time because of that.
Yeah.
You want to keep going. What's the deal with that left digit of yours? What the hell's that all about?
What's going on with it?
Bill over here.
Yeah, I'm over here, Bill.
Please move your face.
Yeah, he was an incredibly arrogant guy. He wasn't really a prick. He wasn't nice to us, but he wasn't a prick either. He's just incredibly arrogant.
That's
I guess.
hilarious. I mean, that's like so ridiculous.
Do you think that's why he just assumed that he could push himself on women?
I think there's a certain evil that's in Bill Cosby that
Yeah.
I don't understand, and that he hid pretty well in the fact that he was such a like fatherhood figure in that sold Jello, went around doing silly stand up. Yeah, I think there's that dormant
Jello
evil.
pudding. Yeah, I remember that now. I forgot about that. Jello pudding.
Jello.
Jesus,
That's the worst
Palomino.
Cosby I've ever heard. But yeah, there's something dormant in him that comes out that's terrifying.
Well, I never met any of the women that ever accused Bill Cosby of anything terrible, but I do have a friend of mine, it's mildly, marginally, somewhat kind of known comedian who's a female who was at a Bill Cosby show, and a handler had walked up and said, Mr. Cosby would like to have you in his dressing room. And she said, sure. And she walked back and sat with him for 5 minutes, and then at the end said, well, have a nice night. And he said, no problem, and got up and walked away. And of course, this was before all the allegations and stuff. And I said, well, everyone was like, the question is, well, did he try anything? And she was like, I'm too strong for him.
Oh, yeah.
Too strong of a personality.
I can see that.
He needed people that he could be predatory on. He needed women that were either starstruck or thought they could get something out of him, and that's why they would take a drink and they'd spend a little too much time. When you have somebody who's already established and can't get anything from her, and she can't get anything from Bill Cosby, he has no purpose for her, so he said, well, have a nice night.
Well, I hear that, but also on top of it, I mean, the MO was putting something in drinks. So, like, maybe if he felt you were too strong, he would bring you down that notches. Because most people who had that interaction were unconscious.
No, but that's what I'm saying, is that he needed somebody to sit down and have that moment with them, because she wasn't going to just sit and, like, cozy up to him and allow him to butter her up. She was way too, like, already established for Bill Cosby to try that on her.
Yeah, like maybe there wasn't going to be like a moment to order drinks together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I hear you. I just don't want the narrative ever to be like these people are weak because they trust somebody.
No, not at all. That's not the narrative.
And that's why I was clearing up for you,
Yep.
to make sure,
because I see people tremble when they get around Tom. They're like, oh my God, is he going to yell at me? I'm like, yes.
I haven't been watching any of my drinks around any of you guys.
I'm like, he is going to yell at you, but just lean into it. It's going to be fine.
You suck. That'll be unbelievable. Be amazing. Yeah, everybody needs to. First of all, answer one thing before we move on for me, because I've never understood this. So you drug women to have sex with them. Why don't you just stoop a pillow or something? If they're not going to respond emotionally, why would you want to have sex? That's a weird deal to me.
That's a great question.
I mean, isn't the emotion part of it?
There's some psycho aspect in it where there's a power thing. And like Rudy was talking about, if he's some guy who never felt like he had that power and he needed that power, that's how he gets it. Like, there's a part of it we will not, thank God we don't understand.
Drill a hole in a pillow. There you go. You're good.
Solution.
Right now, there's a pillow banger out there going like, I'm trying to have sex with women.
See?
You guys don't get it. I'm trying.
Yeah, it goes both ways. You got Bill Cosby and you got this other guy on the other end. They're both trying to meet in the middle.
Right? They should just meet in prison.
Actually,
if you're having sex with pillows, you're fine.
Yeah.
You know what? I shouldn't criminalize that.
Get away from me. If you're having sex with pillows.
I know, man. If that's your thing, whatever. That's not hurting me. Go for it.
Are those blow-up dolls? Is that a deal still?
But make sure they're My Pillow 2.0.
So you just ignore my question.
I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Okay.
It's great. Really good.
Sorry, I was trying to loop in.
I don't think that live ad is coming down the pike anytime soon. So.
Yeah, it's only like 5 minutes away.
yeah.
What was your question?
Why did you leave Ollie in your car?
That we'll never know.
You did see this, didn't you?
What's that? Oh, the brick of.
The brick.
Yeah,
The brick of our
Jolly
see this
pills
right
or
here?
whatever.
our daily pills we take.
They're just sunny side up.
I
They're
thought it
called-
was so. I was like, I'll buy our round. You know, Tom gets so many things. I'll buy a round of Ollie gummies because we both, eat 2 a day, and I like this tradition. It's perfect. So bought it. Came in the mail, threw it in my car, and then it was a pretty hot day.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it was a very hot day, as a matter of fact.
And now we just get one giant Ollie. One Ollie gummy.
Yeah, we had to bring in a switchblade just to cut them all up. It was really wonderful.
We've been cutting
Great
it up
job.
and snorting it. Why not?
Great job. No question about it.
Thanks, sir.
Just the way it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you know Hubbard's been around for 100 years?
Yes.
That's
Are
pretty
you going to
cool.
change the subject how many times this
I'm
podcast?
just, I didn't know if,
No, that's the Brittany show.
Well, you
Here we
wanna-
go. No,
What
I'm
did-
ju-
what
okay, I'm
was the
just
other
supporting
question?
you. There was no question. I just kind of get a little flow to the show.
We were talking about blow-up dolls.
Yeah,
Having sex. Okay, that was the question I was originally trying to get back to. Blow up dolls. Let's get back to that.
Sure
Do
you
you
were.
name them? Do you comb their hair? Do you take them in the car with you?
You know that I've only seen one, and it's because once on the queue I said I've never even seen a blow up
Oh,
doll.
that's asking for trouble.
Would you let me finish?
I'm saying like you asked saying that.
What is wrong with her today? Did you get her high before the show?
She got me high, actually. That's
She got you high. There
about
you
to
go.
kick in.
Anyway, what were we talking about? I forgot.
You said
Blow-up
you
dolls.
asked on air. You said you
Oh, the
mentioned
blow-up doll thing.
You never seen a blow up doll, and I went, oh God, that's trouble if you ask for that. Say that on air because they're gonna bring them.
Yeah, they did. They sent them. They sent them in. So, and they all got this deal going. They all go. Why does that? Why are their arms? So you could put your body between their arms? Is that why they do that?
So bleak.
It's weird. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I don't. How did? But I've seen them because they sent a couple of them in.
Yeah.
Well, here, Tom.
I know.
So you're going to lay on top of that? I would be so depressed I'd have to go right to the hospital. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, they used to in the military. They used to have flashlights, so they look
Oh,
like
so, yeah.
they look like flashlights. But I don't. Adding the human part to it's creepy. I can understand just the pure stimulation. The guys would have these. They look like flashlights, but you can put your penis in it and go to
Yeah.
town.
Right.
That makes sense to me. That's like masturbation. When you add the weird face and arms part to it, I go,
know.
not so much. That gets a little. And could you imagine the noise? It would be like laying on a tube that you'd go tubing on. It'd be like.
Could you do that sound effect again?
Didn't realize we had Michael Winslow in.
Yeah, exactly.
Of sex noises.
Whatever happened to him?
He's around. He's
Oh, is
still
he still?
doing stand-up, yeah.
He's still doing noises and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's his MO. He comes out, does about 4 minutes of stand-up, and then, 57 minutes of him just being like, here's a helicopter if it was landing on Michael Jackson's house, and then does the whole bit, yeah.
Was it good?
It's not bad. He's all right.
That's all right.
he's
That's
all
why.
right. Yeah,
What?
he's all right.
He's just not saying no. He's not great. That's-
Yeah.
You don't need to watch a 2-hour stand-up of that.
No.
I think we had him on the show one time, and it was really weird for him to be doing that on the phone.
Yeah, I bet on the phone would be weird.
Yeah, it is. It's really weird to do it on the phone. But what the? He was a nice guy, nice enough guy. So whatever works, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I just saw the headline. I have not seen it yet, but I'm going to make a guess. A national spelling bee champ. Okay, can you picture the person who won the national spelling bee?
Rudy Pavich.
Yeah.
Rudy, no, unless you're from Pakistan or India, you're out.
You don't say.
Why?
That's
now,
what's holding Rudy back.
Why is it that people, I think it's Pakistan and India are the two countries, they really focus on it. Spelling is really important in that culture.
Parents.
But I mean, why isn't it really important in all cultures? Because they kick ass, man.
Yeah.
You know who it's important to? You. You are pretty.
I'm a big speller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on top of that.
I don't know why that is, because, I suppose they didn't want to look stupid.
Yeah, I feel like you have a fear of showing your ass.
Well, I'll show you my ass right now. I have
I'll
new pants
prove you.
on, too. I'll pull my new pants down. That'll be great.
Because, like, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal to have a misspelled thing on something that's just internal.
It's because you're lazy.
That's it. It's because I'm lazy. But I
He
think
just admits it fully. Yes. Okay.
something about when you grow up, do you think that you got teased if you made a
Nope.
mistake, or why? Tell me why.
Because at 7 years old, I did, even at 7 years old, and it was because I was trying to make my father happy. I literally discovered at 7 years old that I had to learn because most people are not very bright.
Yeah.
So I just literally went, I can't be like that. I don't know. It was more based on fear than anything else.
Yeah.
Just, I don't want to look like that. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what it was. But plus the fact I do love to read. Like, one of the first books I ever read was J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
And I was like 10 years old. So some of those scenes are like, what does this mean? What is it? What's masturbate? What is that?
Well, neat. I'll look that up later.
Yeah, look, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I'd look up all these words and go, oh,
Okay.
that's what that is. Okay, well. No, I mean, all these things. What the hell's the name of the phenomenal movie? It's about the guy on East Egg Island. Oh, what the hell's it? It's a very famous movie, Tom, for Christ's sake. written by...
Oh, Great Gatsby?
Yeah, Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
There you go. Written by F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Read the first paragraph in that book. It's unbelievable the way he writes that. By the time you get done with the first paragraph of that book, you're in. You're never going to stop reading that book. Yeah. It's incredibly beautiful.
I've read that book a few times because it's one of those things I just have a copy around. It's not a very long book. And it's great. I would have to say it's one of those ones that's a good gateway book because the story itself is interesting. And then once you start getting, there's just these layers and layers in there. But what age did you read that one at?
I was 10.
Yeah.
And it was, I will never, I don't remember the exact one because it's been so long now, but it was something about a beautiful ocean breeze came through our lovely open window and blew the curtains across the wedding cake ceiling. And it's just beautifully, brilliantly written.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see those curtains waving up against the ceiling, you know? He was so good at that.
Yeah.
And there are not a lot of people that are really good at that. Although he died at 44 of alcoholism, so how smart was he?
Well,
right?
Maybe a little too smart. Needed a break.
Had to numb it up.
Yeah.
That, I think, is true. Do you think that's true?
Absolutely.
I do, too.
In fact, Greg Giraldo has a great bit about the fact, like, he was reading a book of old soldier letters from the Civil War, and they would say things like, "Dearest Marie, as I fight the tyranny of oppression, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, could you imagine a letter coming today from a modern soldier? "Hey, Marie, don't you be screwing anybody when I'm around. It is hot as shit in the dessert."
The dessert. 2 S's, baby.
Yes.
Let's go. I love that. But that's probably true.
It's very, very true, yeah.
Did you work with him?
Met him twice, never got a chance to work with him. In fact, I don't know if I've ever told this story to you, Tom, but when he came into the KQ show, I was working at 93X at the time.
Oh, right, yeah.
And I had walked up, and he was hands down my favorite comic ever.
Phenomenal.
And probably my biggest inspiration when it came to getting into stand-up. And I was waiting outside the queue to meet him for the first time, and somebody from the queue walked out, and they were like, somebody that I had worked with for a very long time in that building had walked out and looked at me and went, "So what time do you need to get Greg back to the House of Comedy?"
Oh, to you he said that.
And I was like, I'm not Greg's driver. I work down the hallway from you. And they're like, "Oh, you work here?" I'm like, "I've worked here for the last 5 years. I see you every day in the commissary. We pass each other. You really don't know that I work down the hallway? I'm the afternoon guy at 93X. As I'm having this conversation, I turn and look. Geraldo had already walked out of the studio and walked down the hallway and out the door. And I never got a chance to sit down and like have a conversation with him, like, you know, because the first time I met him was at the club. It was the green room. There's a ton of people, but to actually just have like a one-on-one, I missed my opportunity, and I've never forgiven this person for that.
Okay, the initials of the person, not the name, but the initial.
Well, if I say it, if it's your audience, they'll definitely know.
Is it WW?
No, it's not WW.
Is it JL?
It is.
Time out?
No, time out. Yes, time out. There you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Does not surprise me in the least, of course. But I'm the bad guy there. Don't forget that. I'm the bad guy in that story. What a bunch of losers. Jesus Christ. Not Wally Walker, though. I loved Wally Walker.
Wasn't he the best? Is he still living in Minneapolis?
No.
I have not seen him. Yeah.
He lives in Grand Rapids, Michigan with his kid. His son moved out there. I believe he's an attorney or something.
No kidding.
I don't know for sure, but nice kid. Really nice guy. Well, he's not a kid anymore, obviously, but
I love Wally.
Wally was one of the best guys. So you remember Craig Schumacher? You remember that name?
Yeah.
Craig's an old. God, I haven't seen Craig in years now. He moved somewhere. I don't even know where the hell he lives anymore. But he lives out of state now. But we used to have him call Wally as characters.
Oh, God.
It was phenomenal. And I can't use the exact words that Wally used, but he was so frustrated. He came out of the control room, and he's running his hands through his hair, so his hair's like sticking straight up in the air. Like this. He's like going like, he got this look on his face. Wally, what's the matter? And I can't say the word that he said.
Of
Damn
course
it.
you can't.
I'll just put in popsicle because it's not a racial slur, but it's not very kind.
Sure.
Let me put it that way. Tommy, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. This popsicle guy keeps calling me all day, harassing the piss out of me. And he's running his hands. I said, Wally, that's Schumacher. He goes, you sons of bitches.
I love that man. I used to.
Wally?
Yeah,
Best.
he was so great. And man, do not get in his way during his breaks. When he had to get out of that studio, if he was going to grab coffee, go to the bathroom, whatever.
Yep.
He was like a rhino, just busting through the hallways. But he was so nice.
Oh, Wally, one of the greatest guys ever.
Yeah.
Wally Walker, ladies and gentlemen. I suppose we better take a break here. Look at the flow. There's a flow
Shut
to
up.
this. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean, shut up? I'm trying to tee you up, sister.
No, the flow. I got yelled at for interrupting.
You're a disaster.
The flow's great, Brittany.
But the flow is really good, except for
show
the
you a
fact,
good
except
flow.
for like 5 or 6 times when it's like, you know what I think? I don't care what you think, Tom, because I got a story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You feel me?
I feel you.
Yeah, pain in the ass, you big baby.
I'm going to get a sign that says,
Yeah, just hold it up. I
like
would love that.
Coyote.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. All right, we'll take a break. Be right back in a couple minutes. Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching the MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he discovered a new technology makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with the brand new fabric that is made with temperature-regulating thread, the MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you will ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM. MyPillow 2.0 with its temperature-regulating technology is 100% made in the USA, comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. We have to get, don't you think we should get Dawn on the show one day, Britt?
I thought you were asking Rudy. Yeah, absolutely.
I was asking both of you, actually.
Oh, sorry, you were
But I
looking
was
at him. That's why.
I was looking at you.
Oh, I thought you looked up at him.
Are you looking at my picture?
I'm looking at the, yeah.
Because it does look like I'm looking the other way.
That's why I was like, yeah.
That's weird. Why is it? Okay, so if I turn my head to the left, I look to the right.
Yeah.
What the hell's that?
The cameras are mirrored. I'm not sure why that is, but yeah.
Kind of weird.
But the answer is yes, we should get her on.
I love Dawn. She's wonderful. We'll give her a call. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Enter promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s now.
The new Tom Barnard Morning Show is proud to have partners like Bradshaw & Bryant, MyPillow, and North American Banking Company founder, chairman, and president, Mike Bilski.
I've advertised on Tom's show for years, and the reason is simple. My business is recognized because of the ads, and that recognition has created growth. What business doesn't want to grow? I highly recommend the Tom Barnard Morning Show for your advertising.
Grow results for your business by partnering with the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, president at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. Ladies and gentlemen, 7:25, 25 minutes after 7, it's now time for, as Brittany puts it, it's time for the orb.
The orb.
Bob Orb Sansevere. Move your head, Bob.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. He's moving in the orb, baby.
Oh, tell us the future, orb.
Yours is not a good one.
Shocking.
Dropping like a rock, sister.
Yeah.
That's all I know. What's up, Orb?
Well, first of all, she must not interrupt anymore, or bad things will befall her.
It's time to push her out the window.
This orb sucks. Boo.
What a horrible orb you are.
Boo.
Reshake the orb.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, I should probably do the Bradshaw and Bryant for the orb thing, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't even know if they want to be attached to this.
Bob, do they still want to be attached to you?
Always.
Okay. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant, bringing you the orb, also known as Bob Sansevere. Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers, getting justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant. And now the orb.
You shuffle those letters, it comes out Rob, which is close to Bob. So
Yeah, Rob, Bob, whatever works, baby.
How profound, Bob.
As always.
yes.
So, Sandy, what's new, man? The Twins, I did not think they were going to come back and win that game last night, Bob.
Well, Royce Lewis is already their best player.
Yes.
He opens up Monday with the home run, the 4 ribbies. Last night he had a game-tying home run, and Will Castro win in the 9th with a sacrifice fly. They need an injection of offense like Lewis. And I don't know when Rocco, he just got the new extension. When is he gonna put him in his right spot? Maybe he should be leading off for this team and put Polanco second.
Yeah.
Because Correa and Buxton, how long can you keep them in a 3rd and 4th spot if they don't produce?
And they're not in there. Well, at least Buxton's not in there about 30% of the time.
Well, he was out yesterday. I think when the home run was hit, he had ice. He was packing himself in ice.
Yeah, he gets hurt a lot, doesn't he?
And he's not even, he's not even in the outfield.
Right.
How can you really count on him? That's the problem. I don't think you can.
All right, I got to get a 3-way vote here because it's happened about 10 times now. I tune in, and the Twins are up, let's say, 4-1. And then I tune in and go, oh, they're up 4-1. I should watch this. By the time 2 more innings are up, they're trailing 5-4. Is it me or is it the Twins?
Is it you?
I think it might be me.
Maybe it is you.
Yeah.
I think I'm cursing them. Because then, when it was 5-4, I tuned out and said, damn it, they're going to lose. And then they came back and won. As soon as I left, they got hot.
Oh, no.
So it's me, isn't it?
It might be you.
Yeah, my brother-in-law's mom was sitting with the cat when the Packers were in the NFC Championship game, and the cat jumped off her lap, and the goddamn Packers missed a field goal, and that was it. And they said you are never allowed to sit without that stupid cat ever again.
Yep.
And that was 12 years ago, and every game she has sat on the couch and does not let go of the cat.
I love it.
Even though it died 3 years ago.
It's still dead. You're right. It is frozen. They take it out of the freezer every Sunday, sits on her lap, puts it
Ixnay
back.
with the dead cat stuff. Andy's still suffering, unfortunately.
Oh, we didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, Andy's cat died yesterday after 20 years old, man.
That takes, my cat died a year and a half ago, and I'm still sad about it.
Terrible.
I know.
Kitty.
I know.
What's wrong
so
with the kitty,
I'm sorry
man?
for Andy. That sucks.
And way to go, Bob. Way to drag Andy through the mud. Typical.
Well, you didn't.
Sandy.
You should have said something. We're having a little crawl. Do not mention cats.
Boo, Orb, boo.
The orb, boo. Anyway, Orb, what else?
Well, Dalvin Cook is. He's obviously he's not gonna be with the team, and it's just it really is just a matter of time.
Is that for sure now, Bob, that Dalvin Cook's? He had a terrible year last year.
He did, but they don't want to redo a deal with him, or he doesn't. Well, they tried, but he doesn't want to redo the deal.
Okay, go away. See ya.
So
goodbye.
Well, he on his wish list apparently is he wants to go to Buffalo to be on the same team as his brother.
Oh.
Sure, his brother would like him to go somewhere else, so his brother could have a bigger role with the team.
Plus, they have good wings there in Buffalo.
They do have those, so that would not be a bad place. And he's got a good quarter. I mean, it's a good team.
Yep.
But we'll see how it plays out with them. And this Vikings team could be really good with a worse record than they had last year.
Mm-hmm. No, you're
which
right.
is likely because they're not going to win all those close games. Nobody comes back a year after winning as many close games as they did and do it again.
Okay,
but I think the defense will be better.
I have to explain something because I'm getting messages from people. When you look at the screen, there are 4 pictures. To the bottom right is Rudy. To the top right is Brittany. To the top left is me. To the bottom left is an orb. There's no picture
That's
of Bob.
me.
It's just the orb.
I know.
That's what we mean by we're talking to the orb.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well,
Had to
because I realized that after you had said, "Where's your picture?" I'd never peeled off that little piece of tape or whatever it is
Nope.
on my computer, and I don't plan to.
I know.
Because
You told me.
they
So
apparently, Well, put it this way: if the guy who owns Facebook doesn't he puts tape on his computer because he knows people are looking.
Yep.
It's easy to do. I mean, there's
it.
people, so you put a piece of tape on too.
Postage stamp. Put it right over the little lens. I don't hear though because I don't care. I do this when I'm here. See? Take that home with you.
Take that home with you.
Well, it's good you finally found a use for a postage stamp.
I did, absolutely. You're absolutely
I haven't
right.
put a stamp on in years because everything's done electronically now.
Yep, it is. I still mail my stuff just to piss them off, though.
Wow, you're old school.
I just don't care enough about that. I'm going to stay with it. Who cares? Whatever. I pay some online. A lot of stuff I do auto pay. I like auto pay a lot, except for when all of a sudden you get a message like, my God, you used auto pay a lot this month. It's like, whoops.
Yeah, it always sucks when like your phone goes off and you look and you're like, oh, that bill is way higher than it was last month. You know?
Got that right.
Yeah. Ugh, that first water bill of the spring. It's the worst, man. Ugh.
Eek is all I have to say. Orb.
Yeah, there are bills that just I had to get rid of an internet provider that doubled.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I must have come off some special that they had because they extended it, and then they decided, you know what, it's time to really hit this guy. So, I mean, fortunately, there are other options for some of these companies. Yeah.
Does that service start with an S?
It does not.
Ooh,
it starts with a C.
They just doubled theirs. Went from like $20 a month to $40 a month, and that's for one channel. It's like Jesus.
No, this provider was for my studio where I do the BS show in Wayzata. It went from $81 to $186.
Whoa,
Jesus!
And that lasted about an hour because I was done with them.
Hey, Brittany, do you want to hear my impression of Bob?
Yeah.
In my studio in lovely Wayzata by the lake.
Oh.
No, it's not by the lake.
You're a pain
right
in the
by,
ass.
It's not by the lake. It's by the auto dealer.
Which is also glamorous. You're the same one that I've been in, right? You're still in that same place? Yeah.
Oh, you were in that
How
building
glamorous
too?
is it? How big is it? It's about
It was
what?
so glamorous.
10 by 2?
It was annoying though. The valet was kind of slow, and
I've talked to them about that.
Thank you. And the espresso machine was noisy. So.
Well.
And all the crumpets were more than an hour old.
Crumpets.
Yeah.
Get away from me, crumpets.
And the tea and crumpets.
You're a crumpet.
I've heard.
Crumpet the Orb. That's your new name, Crumpet the Orb. Sandy, are you going to do a crossover with your buddy today, KB2?
Who, the best that ever lived?
Best
when
that
it
ever
comes
lived.
to Hollywood stuff?
Kristyn Burtt. One of those deals. I like it when you guys do the crossover now. It makes me happy. I don't know why.
Well,
but
anything to make you happy. You are what was the term? Adorably grumpy.
Adorably grumpy Tom. Yes.
From Amy Daniels. Yeah.
God, Amy, she's a curse.
Brittany, do you agree that he's adorably grumpy?
It depends on the day. He actually is quite adorable today. He did his hair, and he's is grumpy for sure. I'd say you're adorably grumpy today.
Adorably grumpy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy a car from my buddy Doug Sprinthal.
He goes to me today this morning, Bob. He says, I'm going to go buy a car from Doug Sprinthal because unlike you, I support my friends. I go, what? Are you trying to bully me into buying a car today? I was like, what are you doing right now?
I can't get her to buy a ticket to House of Comedy. You
exactly.
gotta go buy a car.
Exactly.
What?
You don't want to support your friends at all.
My badge. I go
Typical.
buy a Mustang.
No, Rolls Royce.
Okay, sorry.
Can you say where he is so other people go and buy from him?
Baldwin Ford, Baldwin, Wisconsin, baby. It's about a 45-minute drive. And like I said, Doug Sprinthal has become one of my best friends in the goddamn world. I love that man. I hope he's not listening. He's coming in at like 9:30. He wants to sit in on the show for a half hour. Just
fun.
That'd be fun to have him in. But no, I think the world of Doug Sprinthal, and I'm happy to continue to work with Doug Sprinthal. It's great.
Oh, he's listening. He's running around the house. Tom mentioned me.
Oh, you know what else happened? His wife's far too good for him, by the way.
I've never understood that. Why she puts up with it.
I don't get it either. I don't understand it.
She's gorgeous.
She's a very, very pretty woman. Very talented, too. You ever heard her sing?
No, I haven't.
Great singer. She is. Doug sucks, but she's really
Doug sucks, but she's got a cool haircut and looks fly as all heck.
Doug, she has a much better haircut than you do. Let me
yeah.
point that out.
Yeah.
Well, it raises my opinion of him, the fact that she is with him.
Yeah.
So there
But
must
it
be
lowers
something
my
good about
opinion
him.
of her because I think, really?
The poor woman. She can't win.
She can't win.
Stuck with Doug for the rest of her life.
There you go.
But, you know, she does understand that being married to Doug's kind of a baker's dozen kind of thing. She's about the 12th or 13th wife, I think, something like that.
Yeah. Well, they say 13th's a charm.
13th is a charm, exactly.
I keep wondering what my second husband's going to look like.
Oh, well,
And I think-
pardon me.
I think Justin is also wondering when I'm going to move on.
We're going to pull it. Every day I get home and go, oh, Catherine's still here.
Neat.
What do you know?
Shocking.
She hasn't figured it out yet. Let's go.
We know a guy who's been married 3 or 4 times, and he kept a woman, his wife would get to a certain age, and he basically would trade her in for a newer model, much like a car. And when his current wife, they've been together for decades now, but when she hit that age, the panic that set in.
Really?
It was kind of interesting.
But wouldn't you look inward and go, wait a minute, I'm not a very good husband if I have to keep switching up.
I don't know if those are self-reflecting people that
No,
you're
you
dealing
don't,
with.
I don't think so.
I don't
Yeah,
know if they're
you might
like
be right.
talking to a therapist or doing any self-work. I think they have found a formula that seems to work for them.
You know one thing I really love about our marriage right now? Because Jude will not sit anywhere else when we're watching TV other than right between us. He has to sit right between us, right? So now we've decided just to piss him off. When I kiss her goodnight, we stand up and stand right in front of him and hug and kiss. And he
Just all worked up.
just having a fit. It's like, settle down for Christ's sake, you big baby.
That's so
He is
Wait a
such a
minute.
candy ass.
Where was he sitting during the Twins game? Perhaps it's all him.
It is all him. He was sitting in his regular chair, so it's all Jude. You're
Oh, you
absolutely
can't
right.
blame Jude.
I still love the fact that when we're down on vacation in Florida, we live in a very, let me say, a very Jewish neighborhood is a good way to put it. But the first time that Catherine had to call Jude out to get him off the road, she goes, Jude! About 500 people turned and stared at her.
They're like, how dare.
She goes, no, to Judah, Judah.
That's so funny. It's so funny when you feel insecure about something like that you don't think twice about and then all of a sudden realize and go, oh, gulp.
Can you imagine though in
You're
2000?
pissing me off, Jude.
Yeah, exactly.
You son of a bitch, Jude.
Can you imagine somebody? I suppose it does happen though. That was like 2020. I suppose there are still people that stand in the street and yell out racial epithets, don't they? Or just Jew.
Yeah, he starred in Lethal Weapons 1, 2, 3, and 4.
What's his name again? Mel something?
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. There you go. Well, isn't his father a Nazi?
They may have been.
I think they say
it
that his
is.
father was a Nazi. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to have a little effect on you, I would imagine.
Yeah, I worked with his son, Milo, who ended up
Oh yeah.
ended up punching me in the grill.
Why?
Really?
On accident. Yeah, I give him a hard time about
Oh,
it.
it was an accident.
We were
We
filming-
got really excited about
Yeah.
it.
No, we were filming a scene. He wasn't very apologetic about it. We were filming
Yeah.
a scene for a movie, and he ended up punching me. And he got me good.
Ow.
I had canker sores all over the inside of my mouth because my teeth had cut my inside of my cheek and when he hit me, I was like, I couldn't. I know he is the offspring of somebody, but I couldn't imagine
Yeah.
what it'd feel like to have Mel Gibson hit me. Because when Milo Gibson hit me, who is about half the size of his dad, I bet Mel Gibson is about as thick as steel. He seems like a
Probably.
guy who's just tough, you know?
Well, he's nuts.
So were you a centurion in the Passion of the Christ?
I was, Bob. I still have the helmet with the feather on top. If you want to stop by, we can wear it together.
Nice.
No?
Nice.
Is Kristen ready to go, do you think?
Yeah, she can be ready. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
let's
her.
pop her in here for Bob's last couple of minutes, get them both to talk over one another. Now we have KB2 and the Orb on the show, so that's good. Bob the Orb. Oh, he's moving. Look, he's moving his head so we can see him
I'm
moving.
dodging for you. I'm doing what she's doing. I'll use the hands too. Can you see a hand?
Yeah, like little choreography.
yep.
Orb choreography.
I can see.
Orbography. There you go.
So what's Bob and Kristen take over now. Something in entertainment that I was going to talk to you about. We watched episode 3 of The Small Light, which is brilliantly done, but depressing as a son of a bitch. You believe in the wrong God, we have to kill you. I've never understood that. There's no proof there even is a God. We hope
Oh,
there
there's
is.
proof.
No, I'm just saying. There's no. You can't show me proof there actually is a God. I would like to believe there is a greater good, the goodness of the world. You know what I mean?
You don't believe Moses in the bush?
I got your bush right here.
Yeah.
What do you think of that action?
Love that for us.
I
Stepped
love.
right into that one.
Actually, at this age, it's not very bushy anymore. But in any case,
Good luck explaining that one away at the pearly gates.
yeah, you're absolutely right.
Explaining the bush.
Jesus.
Tom, on
Nice
June
job.
2nd, 2023, you brought up.
God, what was the great line about the guys at the pearly gates and Jesus comes to the gates? There's a great joke, but I can't remember the punchline. Do you know that joke?
Yeah, there's a few of them.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I'll think of it. It's a very funny joke, though. What are you going to do? Okay, so in any case, we watched the third episode of The Small Light, which is fantastic. The young woman who stars in it as Meep is just amazing. What's her name? Is it Bollet? Is that how you say her last name? Bollet? I think it's Bobby Bollet is her name. I think.
Yep.
But really, and I'm saying it again, I hope that movies eventually catch up with TV streaming, because TV streaming is kicking their ass right now. It's not even close. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
agree?
but it's just they're able to tell different types of stories.
Yeah, true.
You know, and we're watching them in a different capacity because we're seeing TV tell smaller stories, shorter episodes, that type of situation, or shorter seasons, I should say, where films, it's all the big tentpoles. Like every single weekend this summer, you're going to have a big, huge blockbuster movie, and that's the only thing that's getting people to buy tickets right now. Smaller movies are not drawing people because they know
Right.
in 45 days you can watch it from the couch.
Yeah.
Real quick before we move on, Kristyn, can you make sure that you have your microphone that is set into StreamYard, because it sounds like you're going through your headphones, through your earbuds?
I'm not, so
Oh, okay. Because she sounds different to you guys, right?
She doesn't to me, no. But actually, Amy Daniels talked to me about this yesterday. They're putting a new processor in the studio because apparently the one that's in there is not working.
Oh, this
So
one.
maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but
Well, could
Bob.
it be-
But Bob sounds
Maybe
good.
maybe my orb is interfering, so the orb will disappear.
Wait
now.
a second. Wait a second. He just said on the air, Bob sounds good.
That's shocking.
No, I said
Jesus.
maybe my orb.
Yeah.
Not the content.
Yeah, no, the quality of his audio is
Quality.
great. Yeah.
The content's
The
lacking.
content we could definitely step it
Also,
up.
I love how
Thanks,
Bob
Rudy.
acts like him just leaving because he doesn't want to work anymore.
Yeah,
Is doing us a
exactly.
big favor.
Exactly.
I have a date with Mike Bryan from Bradshaw and Bryan, always seeking justice for the injured at
Say it.
MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
All right, you just signed yourself off there, so that's good. Say hello to Michael for me, Bob.
I will.
Thank you, sir.
Take care, bud.
Bob Sansevere, definitely brought to you by Michael Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. And now we have the lovely and talented KB2 with us to talk about, movies, programming, all kinds of good stuff.
Everything. This one is kind of interesting because the writer's strike actually affected the Netflix executive pay. I don't know if anyone
What?
saw this story.
No.
Yeah, so Netflix executive pay, it was up. The shareholders had the opportunity to vote on it yesterday, whether they should increase the Netflix executive salary. And the Writers Guild sent a letter to all of them saying this is a really bad time to send a message. And do they really deserve extra money?
Yeah.
Especially where they're bleeding subscribers right now. And guess what? They voted no.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. I think that is something that at least you can see that the Writers Guild strike is affecting or at least permeating some of the mainstream, because you're not going to assume every single shareholder works in the entertainment industry. They work across all industries.
You know, I've worked for union and non-union radio stations throughout my career and all that stuff. That's really fun. I don't think we ever did go on strike. There was a threat of a strike once, a radio strike. But has there ever been one? Did the radio people, union radio people ever strike?
TV news. Like, I feel like broadcasters don't go on strike.
No, they don't. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, also, you have to organize a strike.
Well, that's the
and
problem.
radio people, not that great when it comes to organization.
But I would think under AFTRA, when AFTRA was a separate union from
Yeah.
SAG, now they're
Yep.
merged together. I don't recall, because I was a member of AFTRA before I was a member of SAG.
Me
I'm just
too.
thinking, I don't recall any AFTRA strike in the time I've been a member.
You know, back in the day when it was separate, when Screen Actors Guild and AFTRA, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists is what AFTRA stands for, before they merged, the woman at AFTRA in the Midwest intentionally mispronounce my name every time she talked to me. Yeah, I was talking to Tom Brainerd yesterday, and he told me that, and she did it on purpose every time just to piss me off.
Did she hate you?
Didn't care much for me. I could kind of.
What did you do to her?
I think I might have an edge to some people. There's a possibility that's true, but no, she was a pain in the ass, to tell you the truth. So we'll move on.
Because I was like,
from
your
that.
last name is not that hard.
No, it's Barnard. Although I still get Brainerd, I still get Bernard, I still get all that stuff.
Do you know what I get? I get butt. So it's really
Kristyn Burtt?
Nice.
Yep.
They can't see the R?
I don't know. I guess it merges with your T's.
Well, there's
So I get, they'll be like, Kristyn Burtt. I'm like, that's Bird, but thanks.
there's that great guy up in Canada, Brent Butt, B-U-T-T, and he's a brilliant writer. That show, Corner Gas, is one of the funniest shows ever on television. So Brent Butt, Kristyn Burtt, what's the difference?
There is an R.
There is an R. That's the difference.
Or if you're from New England, it's an ah.
And put the R both as an R and Kristyn and an R and Bert. That was a horrible impression I just did there.
That sounded like a Kennedy.
Yeah, it was really terrible. Ask not. I still do remember that.
There's a difference between a Kennedy accent and a Boston accent.
That's true. There's a big difference. Yeah,
the Kennedys have their own accent, and because there's so many of them, they've created their own accent.
Biggest difference for me from the average guy in Boston and the Kennedy, not one Kennedy has ever told me to go F myself.
Nice.
But I have had a few people in Boston tell me to.
Boston people will tell you for no reason.
Yeah, they will.
I mean,
I
if you
love 'em.
drive and
love 'em.
don't drive the Boston way, they will definitely curse you.
And that's just the priest.
Yeah, the priest alone.
That is so true.
I love the people in Boston because I'm not hiding anything from you. It's right in your face. I love that. I do.
It's like straight shooter. Listen, we have no time to just BS you. We're just going to tell it to you, and then we're all going to move on, and we're all going to be fine. But they're salt of the earth people.
I couldn't agree more. Love the place, no question about it. And so, in any case, so now we have, like I said, we have 5 half-hour comedies because we watch either in hour segments or half-hour segments, that kind of deal. Like literally, usually Catherine and I will sit down like last night we sat down at 8:30, so we had 1 hour to watch television. Because I usually go to bed around 9:30, so I can fall asleep by 10, so I can wake up by like 5:30 after 7.5 hours, right? Try to work something out. But it's just, some nights so we take a half an hour show, we watch that, and then I go to bed. So we got little increments that we watch TV in. That's it.
And that's a good way to do it, just to kind of unwind the brain and do it. There's a new show. It's coming out. It's not until next week, and I'll talk a little bit more about it next week. But Kaylee Cuoco has a new show coming on Peacock. Peacock's got some great content coming.
Yes, they do.
Called Based on a True Story. And what I love about this, I think Catherine might like it. It's about a woman who's obsessed with true crime. She starts her own true crime podcast, and they're trying to solve a particular crime in their area, and then all of a sudden the crime turns on them and they become suspects. And Kaylee's done some great work. I don't know if people saw her show on Max, the flight attendant. She was excellent in that.
Mm-hmm. So do you know her pretty well?
I've interviewed her a couple times.
Yeah. The two of you, have you ever talked to her?
No.
Kelly Cuoco?
No.
I don't know what I ever did to her, but I was told something and I didn't know. She's never been nice to me. She's always got this edge when I talk to her. But I found something out, and I don't know that it's true because I have no idea. But apparently I look a lot like somebody she doesn't care for that might have been a member of her family. Apparently I look just like him. So it's one of those deals.
That's a very Hollywood thing. Casting directors won't
yeah.
cast you because you look like their ex-girlfriend or boyfriend.
So you look like her younger brother?
No, that wouldn't be it.
Yeah.
Somebody who wants to stay on the show for a while.
Exactly.
This sounds like a ripoff of, Murders in Our Building, right?
Oh, the
Steve
Martin,
yeah.
Martin, Selena Gomez.
Our Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote with Angela Lansbury.
God, what was the name? Saturday Night Live did a take on that, and I never saw it, but I heard about it. It wasn't Third Degree Sexual Misconduct, She Wrote. I think was the name of the It's like, what? You're going to write a book called Third Degree Sexual Misconduct, She Wrote.
Somebody
it shouldn't be funny,
Sure.
but it is.
It is. Somebody did the math on it, and because if it's a small town and how many deaths per person, population-wise, that town would be the deadliest town in America because every week somebody died in this small town.
That's true. That's a very good point, actually. So, some good stuff out there. And again, you've led me to a number of things, whether it's the half hours or the hour-long dramas. But this small light, my brother Tony told us about it, and it's just, it's terrific. It's really well written, really well acted. Sadder than a sumbitch, of course. We're going to kill you because of your religion and faith. Oh, okay. That's great. That's real clear thinking you got there. In any case, so what else? Is there anything else? Oh, you know what? I should mention this to you. Have you ever talked to Garrison Keillor?
No, I haven't.
You never have. Did he do a lot of interviews? Because I don't remember if he ever did or not. No, he didn't?
I don't recall.
No.
Not many?
No.
Almost none.
Yeah, I talked to him a couple of days ago, and it just, and I don't want to say, he might not be around as much as he used to be, and I don't mean his health. I'm talking about just as far as physically being in the Twin Cities. He's doing a lot of, but there's a guy, and he was accused of a couple of things, and I did some research on it. There is no proof that he ever did any of the things that they said he did. Why do people do that? So here's a guy from Anoka, Minnesota, which is not a wealthy suburb, let me put it that way. Anoka, Minnesota makes a big name for himself locally, becomes a national figure, very successful, so let's burn him to the ground.
Well, was he accused of like sexual harassment?
I
or
think
sexual
so.
abuse?
Do you remember? You guys remember?
I think there was a thing where like a cast member had said like he had walked up and put his hands on her shoulders. And that was about Brittany. You're shaking your head, but I remember like that was the thing that it wasn't. Obviously, it was more than that. But I think these are the moments where Brittany stays silent because she has information but doesn't want to poo-poo all over everybody. So.
I don't listen. I just know it was more than that.
Okay.
And
what was it? Could you please elaborate?
I don't, because I don't want to speak out of turn without having. It was how many years ago? It was a
long
while
time
ago, and so I don't have it.
Were you there?
No, of course not.
Well, then why would you believe the other person?
No, why would I believe a victim?
Yeah.
And this, as a producer, is where I go, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Just to make sure now you can speak freely about whatever you want to speak about. Because
No,
that
I
was
don't-
very
covered,
good.
yes.
I don't have much to say. I just know that it wasn't. The accusation wasn't putting a hand on a shoulder. Is what I'm going to speak to. Is I'll say
Did
that.
he step on her foot?
Yep, that
I
was.
knew it.
That
I
was
knew
the
that's what it
extent.
was.
You know, it's kind of interesting though because this week we saw two cases play out very differently. Armie Hammer, who had been accused of, cannibalism and but sexual assault and everything else. The LAPD decided not to prosecute. They decided not to file charges at all.
Really?
And I think that's interesting because I've actually worked with one of his survivors doing a story. And obviously she has to deal with the, consequences of not having LAPD file the story because her truth is that she was sexually assaulted by him.
Right.
And I've seen we follow each other on social media, so I've seen kind of her statements, and it's a rough time. The LAPD said there wasn't enough evidence, but Armie Hammer is now back on social media saying, I'm rebuilding my career. So is he all of a sudden going to make this huge comeback? What does that say to I think there were about 3 to 5 victims here.
Yeah.
On the flip side, we saw the trial of Danny Masterson, and he was convicted of 2 rapes. The third charge was a hung jury. This was his second trial. But we also saw Scientology play a huge role, especially in the first trial, of not only influencing how the information was disseminated, but the victims in the case were stalked and harassed by the Church of Scientology throughout all this.
Oh, really?
Everyone was a member of Church of Scientology, but the survivors and Danny Masterson. And now there's a civil case coming forward about that harassment. But it's been a really rough road for some of the survivors. So if you understand, I think the one thing, some people are, accused erroneously, and other people will never, some survivors will never see justice for their case. And this is why sexual assault cases are so complicated.
Okay, we'll close with this, because all 3 of you have to answer this for me, because I can't figure it out. For me, I got lucky because I guess, I grew up with 2 sisters and my mother and all the rest of it. So sex to me is part of love, right? How do you get to the point where sex is all about power? That's the part. I mean, obviously, I'm a sizable enough guy that I don't need to be powerful with women. Why would I ever do that? How do you get from love to power? I don't get that.
Well, that's where the psychological aspect comes into play. You're not mentally well if you think it's a great idea to overpower someone.
Yeah. And I mean, and I suppose even attraction is part. It's not just an overwhelming love, but an attraction is showing an affection for someone. So in a way, it's kind of like love, just thinking they're attractive or you're attracted to them, right? So I don't know how you go from attraction or love to I'm going to overpower you and you're going to do whatever I tell you to do. Where's the joy in that? I don't get that.
I don't even necessarily know if there's joy for them. I just literally think it's like
weird.
There's a switch in their brain that doesn't have that.
I guess. So give somebody, shake hands with somebody today, KB3, or I mean 2. I almost put you behind Ken Barlow now. Damn it.
What happened?
I know. What the hell did I do?
I've lost my place in the KB world. I've been bumped down a notch.
All right, pal. We'll have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Kristyn Burtt, KB2, doing a hell of a job. Yeah, that is one thing, sir. I know we got to get going here in just a second, but I still don't understand. And I suppose when you grew up one way, because my mother used to show, great love to all of her children, and I suppose maybe in some families they just don't ever experience love from their parents.
Yeah.
Maybe, I guess, or attraction, affection, love, whatever the hell you want to call it. How you take that from where's the joy in me dominating you because I'm 3 times bigger than you are? How do I get joy from that? I don't get it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so wild to think back in the day earlier when I was first in radio and the things.
Oh, I bet you've seen some things over the years. Whoa.
But you never, like, I don't know what you can tell that you just don't, that's just never been any aspect. And I don't mean that in like you just have never given off ever that vibe of, I don't know. And it's so, and Bob Sansevere falls in that same boat.
Sandy's a great guy.
Know, I mean, like, I have been alone in rooms with you guys all the time, and I've never once been uncomfortable ever.
Yeah, it's just not, I don't understand it, where the great, wonderful feeling of power over somebody 1/3 your size. What's the joy in that?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Rudy, what do you think?
I think Brittany should add one more person to that list of people.
Rudy,
Thank you very much.
Oh,
really?
I just mean, like, I've known them for so long.
So you just threw him under the bus.
I was like, okay, much like Tevin. Now I know what Tevin feels like to not hear his name in the promo. I'm like, hey, could you please put my name in the list of people you feel comfortable
I was
around?
thinking of early on in radio when I was 20-something, naive and whatever, and, walked around. No, Rudy, God, no. Oh, my God. I would never think twice. And I'm just saying, like, now I don't even worry about that feeling because I feel more empowered, more emboldened. It's not something I worry about being in a room with some. Go try. I would love you to try. I've been looking for a cardio workout for a while now. Like, love that for both of us.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But in my 20s, when I was trying to get into radio, I mean, you're vulnerable and nervous, and there were people. There was some people on our KQ show that were just
some,
and not Gelfand. There's so many people that were not.
But he was just annoying to death. That's the problem there.
But like,
hang on real quick. I don't want to interrupt. We got about 25 seconds before we have to.
Oh, that's right. We do have
to.
Okay,
let's go.
Okay. We'll take a break.
I don't have any more to say on it either. Perfect.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey. With locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations, the Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent
This is
you.
Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender. We are back. Look at that. We just, by 24 seconds, we just made it.
We're pros.
We're professionals here at the, what we should name this studio. We got to name this studio someday. Got to figure out a good name for it.
TB doesn't always work out well.
No, not TB. Tuberculosis. The Tuberculosis Studios, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
ground zero for TB right here.
I still, honest to God, remember, I had a friend, and I can actually say his name because he's no longer alive, but his name was Fred Thompson. Why would you name your child Fred Thompson and give him the middle name Albert?
Oh, no.
So his initials were FAT. It's like, why would you do that to your own kid?
Naming a kid is hard.
Mine is Tomb, TMB. It's Tomb. That's not good. What's your middle name?
Jen, Gen.
Just Jen, not Jennifer or Genevieve or none of that BS?
It comes from my great aunt, Genevieve, but my mom thought it would be too long of a name, so it's just Gen, Jen. So it's BGH. Or was BGA now. But my initials now are BA, which is pretty badass.
Or, bah. Hey, look who's here. Bah.
But when I was in the Army, they would have GEN, and it would look like General.
Oh, yeah, General.
So for one time, I got a really good
there
room.
you go.
How are
Nice.
you, Rudy? What are your initials?
NRP is what I'm now.
NRP.
Yeah.
Which is what you are now.
Yeah, Nathan Rudolph Pavich.
NRP.
Nathan the Rudolph Pavich.
And
I
then,
like it.
yeah, and then my original name was Nathan, so NLJ was Nathan Laurie Johnson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Pavich is not your real last name?
No, I legally changed it before my daughter
you
was born.
did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are what's Kinley's middle name?
Christine. So KCP, Kinley Kristyn Pavich.
That's cute.
Hey.
That's cute.
I don't know what we want to call the studio, but can we use the room that nobody uses? Can we call that the Bob Sansevere Memorial Room?
Yes.
The Memorial Conference Room?
Yes, we will call it that. You know who used to office in there was, what's his name, that little prick over Channel 11? What's it, the anchor? Oh, what's his name?
I don't know.
Randy Shaver.
I was going
That's
to say
it.
Randy Shaver.
It
really.
was.
He had an
Right.
office in this.
This was his office before. His
This
wife,
was?
I think he and his wife had a charity or something. They ran out of this.
Oh, I've done their
Yeah.
5K.
Yeah, done their golf outing. Roseanne's great.
I've never met his wife.
Yeah.
I just know he and I just are not the same kind. Maybe he's not even. He might be a great guy, but he and I just don't mix.
Don't get along?
Not at all.
I barely know him. The interactions I've had are fine, but I've just done his 5K with Allie. Has done a lot of stuff with him.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because they teamed up.
I've never liked her.
Oh, yeah, right.
Lucky to point that out.
She will be listening and she will be sad. So take it back.
I'll take it back.
She loves you.
She's terrific.
So annoying. She's like, oh,
it's so annoying. That's nice. Thank you.
She wishes she lived close because she wants to come in all the time. But
well, she's more than welcome.
Chi-Town.
She lives in Chicago. I do love Chicago, too. I just really wish they'd do something about the Miracle Mile. I love the Miracle Mile in Chicago, and now there's violence there all the time. When are we going to stop allowing this?
I don't know.
Sorry, you can't walk up and punch somebody. You just can't do that, and that's all there is to it. And 2 more women got fired because they threw a couple of guys out for shoplifting.
Yeah.
So they took the guys, threw them out of the shop, and the shop fired them.
Yeah, I was reading that article the other day. Where was that?
I assume San Francisco because they do that kind of stuff there all the time.
Yep.
But was it really San Francisco?
No, but I'm just saying San Francisco.
Well, they do.
Yeah, but San Francisco is awful at it. Oh, every single video where you see a guy walk into a Walgreens and just load up a pillow sack with whatever he wants and walks out, 9 times out of 10, that video originated in San Francisco.
It's true.
This is Atlanta, though.
It was Atlanta? Yeah, same thing.
2 Lululemon employees were fired after they called the cops on 3 masked men pillaging the Atlanta area apparel store. Earlier this month, 3 thieves burst into a Lululemon store, a suburb of North Atlanta, grabbing armfuls of athletic clothes. And they eventually called the police. And then they had a Zoom meeting about how that they shouldn't have done that. I don't know. And then the Lululemon spokesperson says the employees were not fired for calling the police, but rather engaging in criminals at all. And they quoted saying the 2 employees at this location were not terminated for calling the police. They were terminated for knowingly violating the zero tolerance policy related to physically engaging with the perpetrators, which put their lives and safety of our guests and other employees at risks.
Okay, well, you should get a special lock on the front door then, because I'm in danger here. Yeah. And if I show weakness, I'm going to be in even more danger. See, this is a typical person who has never been in a tussle in their life. Because if you show weakness by backing off, it's going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, I think
That's a terrible policy.
When I worked in retail, they say, just let them take it, call the police, live your life, because it's going to be more to ensure if something happens than...
So it's about money.
Always.
What a shock.
Always.
What a shock, you pigs-ish. If anybody ever comes in here and ransacks this studio...
I'm letting them take everything.
They can just take whatever they want. Catherine's big light down there.
I'll let them take Rudy at this point. All right.
Oh, well.
It'd be an upgrade some days, yeah.
Right under the bus.
I've never been able to understand people who work at a 7-Eleven for like $12.50 an hour, and when they get robbed, they try to take the guy down. I'm like...
I love that.
Why would you just be like, dude, take it, whatever.
I
could care less. Listen, I'll rob it with you. How about we share the profits?
There you have it.
Slurpees.
Yes.
But my question would be then, how are we ever going to stop this from getting bigger and bigger and bigger if we don't fight back?
Yeah, there was a police chief the other day who, I don't think it was the Minneapolis police chief, but he basically said, listen, we're a little short-staffed. So some of you people that, you guys, you're worried about, the retaliation or you're worried about being sued, we'll take care of you on the back end. But some of you are just going to have to do some vigilante justice because we need a hand.
Right.
And if you don't want this to pour over into your neighborhood, you're just going to have to step up to the plate.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's true.
That's terrifying.
It's terrifying. I hate the fact, but yes, he's very true. It's very true.
You are going to have to eventually fight back or it'll get worse and worse and worse.
Well, I mean, I think there is... Like Target does it right. So Target, you steal from Target, you're thinking you're getting away from it. But they've been using AI and all this stuff for a long time where they wait until it's like a felony. They wait till you add up enough stuff where because if it's little misdemeanor stuff, a lot of it doesn't get, whatever. So they'll track somebody who's stealing. They'll say, all right, you go ahead, take that, take that, take that. Mm-hmm. They'll have all this video, all this proof added up. And the minute you hit that number, they'll say, all right, grab him. And then they have all this stuff ready for court. So when you're stealing from Target, know that, they are just smarter about it. to not sit and fight every piece of gum, every whatever, every little item, but they will add it up. It will, because I know people that have talked about that.
So whatever happened to that deal where Target everybody's pissed off at Target? What did they do again? I forgot.
People were mad because there was Pride stuff on kids' clothes, and they felt like that was terrible.
Okay. So, I don't know. I don't go to Target much anymore, to tell you the truth. I haven't been in a Target in a long time, and I don't even know why.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the only reason they do Pride stuff is to make money.
Right.
And then the only reason they took stuff off is because they didn't want to lose money.
So it's like billions of dollars, didn't they?
All it is virtue signaling
So
left and right. And
it's all about money.
And I don't care. Hey, put whatever on a T-shirt, on a onesie. I don't care. Maybe I'll buy it. Maybe I won't. Whatever.
The problem you have there is, once again, people will take advantage of it. Because, I don't care what you put on a T-shirt. I don't care about any of this bullshit.
No.
But what's going to happen is if they don't at least speak up about it, all of a sudden you're going to be walking through a store and there's going to be a dick pic on a T-shirt.
Okay.
They'll never stop.
Okay.
Do you really want to put up with that with your child?
I don't care.
You want to see pictures of dicks in the store you go into.
Hell yeah, I do. No, I mean, I'm going to be honest.
We're done.
I'm going to be honest. I don't care. That is not going to...
disaster.
If I walked by and I saw a dick on a onesie, I'm not going to write an email. I'm probably going to, laugh to myself going, that's who buys that. But the way I'm going to protest is I'm going to not buy it. And if there's a market for it and they're making money, how am I to say?
If there's a market to show penises to children, that's okay.
I'm not saying go out of your way to show them the penises, but you can go ahead and make that shirt on your own. People can make that right now. They can screen print that.
I don't think you can walk down the street with a picture of a dick on your shirt.
No,
can
I'm
you?
not saying that.
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No, I'm not saying wear it and legally have, be able to whatever. But people can wear swears on their shirts and people can wear whatever.
I saw a guy wearing the big F on a shirt once.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, you're on an airplane right now. What are you doing?
I know, it's an idiot.
You're a moron.
I have a pair of sweatpants that my sister bought me at the Lizzo concert that says 100% that bitch. And I will not wear them out of the house out of fear that a little kid will see it.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And
That's
so
exactly what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying is that you don't want to, but those things are available for sale online. You can make them.
know.
They exist. So why am I going to fight every fight the idea of, well, they exist?
Because
Okay.
it'll get worse.
But I can't stop it.
So wait, you're saying if I wear a shirt with a dick on it, I don't have to be around children?
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it.
I'll take
That's
a
the
baker's
point.
dozen.
I saw your wheels
the point.
spinning in there, and I was like, what is he going to say?
Look, I don't care about any of the things that most people care about. You do this, you do that, blah, 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 blah. I will tell you my perspective on all of this, whether it's the pride stuff or skin color or orientation, whatever. The only reason they pretend to give a rat's ass about you is because they make money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when are people going to wake up? This is not about a racial battle or a straight gay battle.
Absolutely.
It's about them making money.
1,000%. Plus,
Jesus, that's sickening.
do you know how sad it is that we go, you get this month, but after this month is done, we're going back to ignoring you or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody that gets a month, you go, this is so...
It's sad.
It's sad.
I agree.
It's sad. You go, we should... I don't care if you give a onesie that says, hope I grow up to be gay. I don't care. I'm not going to buy the onesie.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, I saw a onesie that said, eat the rich, and I was laughing for 5 minutes because it was so stupid, but also funny. But, I'm not going to put it on my kiddo.
Eat the rich on a T-shirt.
I think that's one of my funny...
But where's the cutoff?
Yeah, right. That's a great
That's
question.
what you have to know is where's the cutoff? Who's rich and who isn't?
Right?
Because there's going to be some mistakes made.
Ooh, we're going to eat some of the wrong
That's the
people.
problem. But so this whole I just love the fact that somebody who grew up in Whispering Acres in a $15 million house, went to Harvard, knows all about the black community. You piece of shit. You know nothing.
And how they have this calendar of, okay, now it's nice.
Yeah, I
now
know.
it's February, so let's be nice to black people. Now it's June, let's be nice to gay people. It's like,
Exactly.
how about you just all the time?
How about shut up, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
No.
I remember Tevin many years ago and all that stuff that I was this and I was that and Tom and Tevin, and I've known Tevin for years. He sends me a Father's Day card every year. He's just a sweet guy, wonderful guy. But he walked in when they were calling me that on TV, saying I was racist or whatever.
Yeah.
Tom, since this is a radio show we're doing, could you just not tell people I'm black? I said, very funny, Tevin. You're a hilarious man.
Yeah, he is funny.
Is all I have to say. Now, I just, please do understand, they're not fighting for black people. They're not fighting for gay people. They're making money.
Yeah.
That's just a fact.
But I really do care. I am very concerned. Like, what does Doritos think about gay pride? I really am concerned. They better put that tweet out, or I'm going to be pissed.
Although the chips look like a vagina, though. So how about that?
Yeah, thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I
sorry.
believe a Subaru, even though they have the commercials where the guy is out cleaning the beach for the tortoises, I'm pretty sure Subaru also makes Apache helicopters for war. So you tell me
right.
where the line is here,
you're
bud.
right. You're right. It's once again, please do understand, though, they're getting us to fight with one another so they make more money. The anger is at an all-time high in my life. I have never seen people this angry in 1967, I guess, just after the 1968, I guess it would have been. After Martin Luther King, it got real ugly for several years. That's when Plymouth Avenue burned to the ground.
I'm sure.
So that's a different deal.
Yeah.
But this new deal, when you let news anchors and politicians piss you off by saying things about other people.
Our companies.
Oh, God, the companies are even worse.
Yeah.
They're just using you to make money.
Absolutely.
They're using black people, gay people, straight people, white people. They're using all of us to make money.
Yeah.
By pitting us against one another.
And virtue signaling.
And virtue signaling,
yeah.
Correct. So don't listen to these assholes. They're just making money off of your misery, right?
But eat the rich.
But eat the rich. Yes, you can go ahead. Now, we have to have the cutoff, though. We got to figure out who's rich.
We do got to figure out the cutoff. But you're looking pretty delicious today, Bernard.
I had to dress up. I got a meeting with Doug Sprinthal. I got to look good for once.
Taking a chomp out of the Bernards, eh?
It's all true. But I'm really glad that subject even came up, because I watch TV and it's like, oh, my God, you phony bastards again. We have to do something about the so-and-so people. You phony son of a bitch. You can tell by looking at them they're lying.
And I don't even know how many people were really upset about the onesies and the things having gay pride on it. It's one of those things where, did people really get upset?
They
Is
had
it a fake?
onesies with gay. Does somebody who wear a onesie even know what gay pride is?
Well, no, but like, if you want your kid to wear a gay pride onesie, I'm fine with that. Bring him.
I don't care about any
Raise
of
your
this
kid
bullshit.
exactly the way you want to raise your kid.
So they turn into a criminal?
Honestly, if it went to 80% off, I'm going to buy whatever onesie there is.
Oh,
we don't do those onesies so
it's all
quick.
about you all of a sudden, huh?
I'm just saying, if it's discounted enough.
Let's say money, Brittany.
I've made it very clear that I will literally say what anyone wants for the right amount of money. If there is a discounted outfit, that girl goes through outfits so quick. She's going to be wearing Eat the Rich. She's going to be every pride. If it's 80% off, I'm buying it. Sorry, my bad.
It is unbelievable.
Sorry.
Now, let me close with this, because this is something I've never said on the air before, and it did just happen last week, because Kath and I took JB and his lovely girlfriend to dinner for his birthday, right? And I go downtown, and I love it. We went to J.D. Hoyt's, which I just love.
Yeah,
I love that
so
place.
good.
It's the greatest. And somebody brought this up to me. That I was sitting there, we're having a really nice time. It's just the four of us at the table. For people who don't know, JB is a black man in America today. Known him for 35 years, forever. He's a dear friend of ours, the family. But we're sitting there, and all of a sudden there was a table for like 12 people. And the people came in, and it was a celebration of somebody else's birthday, and all 12 people were black. And somebody mentioned to me, you know, your body language changes when you're sitting amongst black people? I said, what do you mean? He said, you get much more comfortable. I said, really? He said, yeah, I can tell. I was thinking about it, it's like, I suppose, kind of how I grew up.
Yeah.
So I suppose that would make sense, right? And I guess it's so noticeable because, do you think honkies tighten up when they're around a lot of black people, physically?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So you're right. Yeah. So he's right about that. So you do, because I apparently get very relaxed. I don't know why. And I don't even know why that would be true. I guess it's just I am who I am, right?
You are who you are.
You grew up the way you grew up, so shut up all you and get the hell out of the way. And stop giving money to major corporations for kissing ass, because they don't really give a rat's ass about you.
No.
Right?
No, they don't.
We got to take a break, because I don't give a rat's ass about Chris Egert, but I got to bring him on anyway, so what the hell am I supposed to do? We shall be right back with Chris Egert right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
This is Bob Sansevere, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialke from Bialke Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialke Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkelaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
It's the Memorial Day auction from Air Mechanical. Your chance to save up to 70% on items. Like this. You can save up to 70% on these amazing items and services. Bid now on a super high efficiency plus condensing tankless water heater from Rinnai. Enjoy an endless supply of hot water. Also bid on Aeroseal duct sealing. Very effective way to improve the efficiency of heating and cooling systems by reducing air leakage. Just go to TomBernardShow.com and enter keyword auction to bid now. That's TomBernardShow.com and enter keyword auction.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow are launching MyPillow 2.0. When Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could ever want in a pillow. 20 years later, he discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. The MyPillow 2.0 has the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, and now with the brand new fabric that is made with a temperature-regulating thread. The MyPillow 2.0 is the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0. Buy one, get one free offer with promo code TOM. MyPillow 2.0, with its temperature-regulating technology, is 100% made in the USA and comes with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Just when you thought MyPillow couldn't get any better, MyPillow 2.0 gives you the best pillow ever. Promo code TOM or call 800-516-5146 to get your MyPillow 2.0s now. God, it's so hilarious. I just ran into a woman that I see every day in the hallway. She's one of the first people here. She and I are wearing exactly the same outfit.
Twins!
It was hilarious. And she said, I saw you coming, so I moved over because I guess it was on Tuesday. I came around the corner and almost ran right over her.
Yeah.
So I kind of stayed. When I see her coming now, I go to the other side of the aisle, and she goes, I appreciate that.
I
Thank
saw Mr. Hubbard yesterday, the guy you almost busted into. Or was it his dad?
No, it was his dad,
Oh,
actually.
never mind.
It was his father, and I did not almost bust into him. I hit him with the door when I kicked it open. Whoops.
I got to say, that sequin dress looks good on both of you, Tom.
Yeah.
You damn right. You,
Slim
both of us.
mean.
I called her and said, are you wearing the blue sequins today? Which ones are you wearing?
I love the idea of twinning it up.
You know what I really like? Knowing when people have some time off. And I know that about Chris Egert when I look and go, well, he's not dressed up at all.
He's got a button up on.
I took a shower for you this morning, Tom, because I was worried that I had the same hat on and the same shirt that I did 24 hours ago when we talked.
Dude, have you not watched the
I'm
YouTube
like,
videos?
Yeah.
We're all wearing the same clothes all the time.
Not
Same
me.
stuff.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, God, I better take a shower. Otherwise, he's going to give me crap. And you don't have a hat on today. So that's,
I know.
I mean, that's a big day.
I have
You look good.
I have a client meeting after the show, so I had I got a little hairstyle cooking here. You know.
I like it.
You know what I'm talking. What does this say? Oh, it's Golden Valley, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah,
What does it
GV.
say?
Yeah,
GV,
it's
there you
very prestigious.
Oh, it really is. There's no doubt.
It looks nice.
Somebody asked me that. Oh, it's Joe Souchere asked me the other day. When I was on his show, because I don't notice that I do it anymore, but I still have been doing this forever. And everybody goes, and Souchere goes, "Who you, Rodney Dangerfield?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "You do this all the time."
You do that all the time.
I pull on my shirt all the time, and I don't even know I'm doing it. So why would I do that?
No respect.
And let me tell you, when I was a kid, you know. I still love. I thought Souchere was going to pass out laughing. I'm telling the story about meeting Jeff Cesario with Rodney Dangerfield and Jerry Seinfeld.
That's wild.
He laughed his man. Well, all of them did. Rookie was laughing. They all were having a great time. It was wonderful.
Who cuts your hair, by the way?
I do.
Do you? It looks great. It's a very dapper haircut.
Well, it's actually clean this morning, which really helps a lot, you know.
Are you a morning shower every morning or no? Are you night?
No, I'm night.
I like night too.
Yeah, I don't get it because you have to get up even earlier to shower. And plus, it would make way too much noise.
Yeah. Are we all night showers?
Probably.
I think so. Yeah.
See?
Impressive. Look at us.
That's all we ever do.
Let's not be roommates.
Let's not be roommates. Well, I don't want to be I just did it again. I didn't even know I was doing it, and I looked up, and I'm doing it again. In any case, so there you go. Let me tell you when I was a kid. God, I miss him. The last time I interviewed him, his wife had set up, she was selling flowers online. She had an online flower business. Who was that, Joan? Is it Joan Dangerfield?
I don't know.
I think.
Yeah,
We had her on the show a couple of times on the family podcast. Very, very nice person. Because she found a bunch of jokes in an old suit of Rodney's that he had never told. She calls up and he goes, Tom, do you want me to tell the jokes on your show? I'll read them. And hearing her read those jokes is hilarious.
That's so cool.
So, Tom, two guys walk into a bar and only one... you hear Rodney trying to tell the joke, and then the way she read it, not even close. It was wonderful.
No.
It was a great experience. There's no question about it. So, I do want to ask, and I've saved this for when you came on, Chris Egert from Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Yeah.
This whole situation with the national news, not the local news now. Biden fell down again yesterday, apparently. Well, I shouldn't say apparently, because I did see the video of him falling down. He's fallen down 4 times so far in the last few months. And the amazing thing to me, look, he fell down. I hope he doesn't fall down. And they always claim he tripped over something, but I never see that he tripped over anything. Look, I hope the guy stops falling down, because at 80 years old, you don't want to be falling down a lot. Not a good thing, right? But I knew it was going to happen. I said, oh, God, Biden fell down again. This is going to be nutcases on CNN and Fox. And I tuned in to CNN first. And they went on and on and on and on about how falling over 4 times as President of the United States on camera is not a big deal. And, he tripped over they said he tripped over a sandbag or something. There was no sandbag there. He tripped and fell, right? But these 2 national news channels do nothing but take advantage of everything, because they, on the CNN side, that was nothing. Then you tune into Fox, the worst of all time. It was terrible. All those 2, all they do is lie, both of them. Nothing's ever right down the middle.
I knew that was. I mean, when I heard about this yesterday,
yes,
of course you knew it was going to be taken advantage of today, because that's exactly what.
Yep.
And to your point, depending on which organization you're watching, then you're hearing, either he's lost all of his cognitive abilities. The guy can't even. How can he walk across a stage without being able to?
Right.
How can he run a country when he can't walk across the stage?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just more of what you point out all the time. It's taking one thing, which probably should be talked about, but given some kind of context.
Toward the middle. Let's move it toward the middle, shall we? What do you say?
Well, let's have a conversation about what it means when somebody of that age falls. Now, one could also say the guy's got a camera on him almost 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
If I had a camera on me, you'd see me falling probably 5 or 6 times a day. I'd fall all the freaking time.
I do anyway.
So
I have a secret camera on you don't know about.
Oh, you do? Oh, that would be the most boring camera in the entire world.
Most boring video ever made. Chris Egert on camera. No,
Here's Chris sitting on the couch drinking a beer.
The man's 80 years old. I wish he would stop falling over, because I just don't want any 80-year-old guy to be falling over. But remember, a couple of months ago, Catherine dropped me off. I had to run into Bilski's bank and come back out. And I was looking for her. I'm looking around. I can't see her. I thought she'd just stay where she was, but she was. So I'm looking up, and I'm looking all over the place trying to locate her. What I did not notice was I was about to step off a curb into about a 3 or 4 inch deep pothole. I fell right on my face, because I thought it was just off the curb, but then there was another 3-4 inches below that, and it threw my balance off. I fell right on my face. It's going to happen once in a while, but I don't know about 4 times in 2 months.
Well, there was that lady that tried to sue the mall because she was walking, looking at her phone.
Now, it
Fell in the fountain.
Fell in the fountain.
Right in the fountain.
That's
And
right.
she tried to sue the
God.
mall, and the judge is like, hey, get out of here. What are you wasting my time for? Obviously, keep your nose out of your phone and keep walking, lady. What are you doing?
I love it. Move that fountain,
Yes.
damn it. What?
Silly.
So I don't know. I just really wish. I don't care who our president. I don't care if you're the president of the United States because I don't like you anyway. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican. I don't care if it's Biden. I don't care if it's Trump. I don't like you people anyway. So all the rest of them on CNN and Fox can battle it out and yell and scream and piss and moan. All I know is we're $32 trillion in debt, and that is not a good thing.
When Biden fell on his bike, that was the most relatable situation I've ever seen in my life. I've done that so many times. It's like mortifying.
Well, so that would be 5 times he's fallen down.
That was like 2 years ago. It was a while ago. Yeah, I just remember being like, that is so relatable, getting your foot stuck in one of those pedal
Oh, is that what
things
happened?
and then just slowly falling.
Well, I think if we're going to talk about the fall, let's give it some context. Let's not just show the video over and over again and have a bunch of talking heads speculate about what it means. Let's actually get somebody on who is able to look at someone's walk and talk and sort of give an analysis of their cognitive skills from what they see. Let's have the White House send out his medical records and talk about.
That's a good idea.
He was just seen 2 weeks ago, and he was tested for this, and this, and here's what we found. Now, I don't know if anyone's asked for that. I don't know if the White House would divulge that information, but I would think a demanding journalist could ask that question in the context of, this is why I'm asking. I'm not asking, we want to know if he is physically and mentally, capable of performing the highest office in the land, to just capitalize on it. But that's more of the same. But that's when I get back to turn the TV off, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's an easy way to get away from that. Flip the channel.
Yeah, that's true. Now I have a question for you, and I might piss a lot of people off here, but I don't mean to.
I like Salty Tom today, by the way. Very salty.
Salty Tom. I'm in a great mood. I don't know why the hell I'm in. I guess it's just I'm such a luck just to be with these people, the three of you.
There you go.
It's a gift. If there is a God, it's a gift from God.
Absolutely.
I'm about to say something that's probably going to piss everybody off in the world, but I got to be honest with you. They take different positions to make money, and I do understand that. So they have different positions. But I got to be honest with you. I have a bitch of a time telling the difference between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. They're the same person. One's after one side, one's after the other side, so they're not saying the same things, but their approach to everything is all about them. Both of them are that way. Do you see that?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of similarities. You talk about the age. You talk about the position that they've got with their respective parties. You talk about, I mean, for sure. I don't know how you can't make that comparison.
But people get really mad at me when I say that. Oh, he's nothing like that other puke. It's like, yeah, actually, they're the same person. They just got they're running a different scam, right?
Other side of the same coin, right?
The other side. And again, once the CNN and Fox get a hold of it, then all of a sudden, oh my God, they're completely different people. No, they're not. No, settle down, right? So now Trump, because he was talking about the fact that he had to take baby steps down a ramp that was kind of slippery, and I think from what I took away from it, he was saying positive things about Joe Biden, not negative, but maybe it was edited, the one that I saw. But he said, look, I've you got a camera on you all the time, and people said when I was taking little baby steps so I didn't slip and fall on that ramp, they thought that I was showing my age and that I couldn't walk and blah, blah, blah. So one of the problems, a big problem here is, first of all, let's make sure if there was, I didn't see the sandbag, but they said there was a sandbag that he tripped over. Why would there be a sandbag right in the middle of the aisle? What the hell's that now?
Right, like set up an obstacle course for him.
Yeah, look, I don't hate Biden, and I don't.
It's
hate
like
Trump.
It's like the Westminster Kennel Club dog show.
Yeah,
Just set up a whole course for him.
Jump over little hoops.
I'd watch that. I don't care. I'd watch the heck out of that.
I would too. I actually wish that would be the way that those two would compete for the presidency.
Would love that.
To have them run through an obstacle course. Right? Wouldn't that be great?
Or like that one show, Wipeout. Like we have them do that one.
God, I haven't
with
seen
those
that
big
show.
balls they have to jump on. I'd watch the heck out of that.
So, yeah, I mean, let me be very clear. You vote for Biden, good for you. You vote for Trump, good for you. And I'm not saying you're an idiot for doing any of this stuff. It just seems it's the same thing to me. They have different things they want to go after, but it's the same bullshit.
Well, I think it's important, too, for people we put too much weight on the presidency and what the presidency actually means. And when it comes to what kind of work gets done, I mean, they're a figurehead. They're doing things. They can dictate policy. They can set an agenda and the tone in Washington. But when it comes right down to it, you know, how much power are we giving them other than, you know, we're.
Look, I can close with this. God bless both of them, because I wouldn't, if you gave me the presidency, I wouldn't want to be president of the United States. No, thank you. You got to take a ton of abuse to be the president of the United States, man. I mean, it's just nonstop. No matter which side you're on, you're going to get the piss beat out of you verbally for 4 years. You just are, right?
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Who needs it?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Hey, but before I go, I wanted to jump in on your guys' virtue signaling conversation you were having about, you know, corporation XYZ selling XYZ.
Yeah.
How you know, your position is it's basically somebody trying to make money off one side versus the other side. That's also an issue in the amputee community, and I learned this when it happened to me. Is, you know, when you watch the commercials or you go to XYZ sporting store and there's a gal with her prosthetic and she's up high hanging in the store.
Right.
They're on a commercial. Like during the Paralympics, you'll see amputee people everywhere and everyone's like, rah, 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 amputees. We call that ampu porn. And not
I love that. I love ampu porn.
Because it's just hanging a picture out there for the sake of hanging it. But when it comes right down to it, what is XYZ company actually doing for the community? And you see it all the time. Like, people are so happy to capitalize off of, no matter what it is. You know, it can be anything. You know, what I would like to see, and I've had conversations with some of these big companies in the Twin Cities about, like, if you want to do something like this, like, do it then. Yeah. Don't just put a picture up and, you know, come around every couple years during the Paralympics. Like, actually do something to help people in the community.
I love that.
And no matter what it is, right? Like all the things that you guys talked about in that last segment. But anyway, it's a good conversation to have.
I think so. And not a lot of people will have conversations like that, by the way. They get very afraid that they're going to offend somebody. Well, let me put it this way. If you're on a morning show and you're not offending somebody, you're not doing a very good job.
It's a fair point.
It's true. Somebody's going to either they don't give a rat's ass about what you're saying, which is not good, or you've offended people, but that's going to happen when you take a position. I don't worry about that stuff. Like I said, I talked to on Wednesday it was. I talked to Joe Souchere, who's a bit conservative, and I talked to Garrison Keillor, who's a bit liberal. I don't know how it is I can get along with somebody, and I wouldn't say they're either extremely, but they lean hard left and they lean hard right. Why can't we all just get along? They got their opinion. I don't dislike them because of their opinions. I'm fine, right? Why do people care so much?
Well, I think being able to have a conversation about anything is the right thing in my mind. Instead of hiding behind your phone and blasting out a bunch of hate and garbage and vitriol. Like, just sit around at the table and talk about it, right? No matter what it is. Or sit around in your podcast and talk about it just like this.
I'll give you an example again to go back to Joe Souchere. He's the first person who defended me all those years ago when they said I did this and I'm this and I'm that. And Souchere went on the air and said, that's total bullshit. He's not like that at all. You're making that up, and it's a lie. Then I was on his show, so Catherine wanted to watch a little bit of that. And there's another thing on there where he's talking about Donald Trump ripping him to shreds, even though he's conservative. Now, I enjoy that. I'm not the fact that he's ripping the hell out of anybody in particular, but here is a conservative man who speaks the truth. I really like that. Garrison Keillor is a liberal man who speaks the truth. And they've both suffered for it. So basically, unless you kiss ass, you're going to catch some heat. That's just how it is.
Yep, just don't keep your head down. Don't say anything to anybody.
I guess not, but I I love my life because of that. I can do this show. We have a good time on the show. I have friends, and like I said, I mean, I have friends that are extremely liberal and extremely conservative, but they're my friends. I don't care. Good for you, right? You know,
Agree.
When it gets to the point where a Twinkie starts costing $100, I'm going to have a problem. You know, because that's
Not
right
too
around.
far from it.
We're not that far from it anymore.
I'm more of a ding dong guy, so
You are kind of a ding dong.
If you
You're
like
right.
Twinkies, we can't hang. I'm more of a
That's
Swiss
right.
cake roll kind
I'm
of
not
man.
coming
yeah.
near you, Tom, with your damn Twinkies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Team Ho-Ho if we're going to get into this.
Oh, whoa. I don't need you on my side, okay?
A
And
woman
I
who
said
likes
Ho-Ho,
ho-ho.
not Swiss cake roll.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Real quick, Chris, what is your son's name again?
Dakota.
Dakota. Okay, right on. I know
Yeah,
you said don't
yeah.
bring cards, but I want to give him a card when I swing by the old grad party this afternoon.
Happy graduation day.
The
Yeah,
grad
thank you.
party. Oh, apparently you
the
and I didn't
party
get
is-
invited to this party, I guess. So.
I got invited.
I
This is
didn't.
awkward.
Oh, okay.
I'm on my talk, though, so I can't
No,
come. but
that's okay. Don't,
You,
don't invite Uncle Tom.
They texted Tommy. They texted.
No,
That's-
they did
Rudy
not.
texted and asked.
Not to
No,
me, they
tex-
didn't.
They texted me and asked about it. So I wouldn't dare bother you with something of this.
Well, you're not bothering me. I don't know if you've ever noticed
Well-
that. I kind of like you. I don't know if you ever noticed that?
No, I like you too. I wouldn't want you to feel obligated because you come here and like people would be like, oh my
Be
God, it's not
obligated.
Bernard. Oh my God.
I ran into Mark Rosen a couple nights ago. He's out to dinner with his lovely fiance, about to get married.
Yeah.
And I said, I heard you guys are getting married. Don't even think of sending me an invitation because I wouldn't waste my time. And then I walked away.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Don't worry about my feelings. Okay, what's his name? Dakota?
Yeah.
Dakota, your father makes very bad decisions. Now we can move on.
Oh, he knows. He's
He
18
already
years
knows
old.
that.
He's been witnessing this disaster for the last.
Uh-oh, he froze up.
I froze up. Well, while he's unfreezing, Tom, I will do the move for you that I am synonymous
18
for,
years. He's very,
Okay.
which is I will definitely put your name on the card. Because every wedding,
Well, thank you. Yeah, I
everywhere I
appreciate
go, I'm just like, here's $20, put my name on the card, and then I don't have to go to this thing.
Oh,
But I
now I
still
gotta
get
give him
credit.
$20.
Well, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry.
I'm
I
going to
wanna-
give him $20 now.
I want to go.
You cost me $20, Egert.
Oh, Dakota.
I'm sorry.
Dakota, you missed out on the bag, the fact that Bernard didn't get invited. So that was a big failure on your part.
Unbelievable. And you know what?
It's not true. It's not true.
Oh, Tom thinks he's much too big a deal to come to this. That's basically what you said.
I'm going to go.
Well, I'll tell you. Oh, go ahead, Brittany.
I'm going to sneak to that party right at the tail end and be like, I cannot believe Tom didn't show
Yeah,
up.
where's that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Although, Tom, you are in the place that I want to be at a position where people don't invite you to things because they assume you won't go.
That is a good thing. You're absolutely right
yes,
about
that's
that.
where I want to be
general.
in life. Yes.
I mean, not when the Egerts are concerned. I'm deeply hurt about that one. But you take what you can get.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I know
Add
that
it to my list of mess ups.
Yeah.
Listen, it's a long list.
And speaking of taking what you can get lost, Egert.
Go, yeah.
All right, you guys.
Go fold some napkins.
I am. Don't worry.
Fold some napkins. I like that a lot. Chris, thank you, sir. And congratulations to Dakota. Dakota is
Yeah,
graduating. Where is he graduating from? 6th grade? Is that what it is?
High school, yes.
Oh, high school. Okay. I
Yeah,
didn't know you were
yeah.
that old. There's somebody staring
Yeah.
at the back of your head
Is that
right now.
Dakota?
Oh, it's my stepdad.
Oh, hey, stepdad.
Tell him to get down. Hey, what's his name?
You're on the podcast right now. Yeah, he's shaking his head.
He's
now.
hiding.
Oh,
He's
What's his name?
smart.
Burnell.
Hey, Burnell, get your ass down here. Let's
He's
go.
got headphones in. Chris is
That's
only
why I'm
hearing it.
screaming.
They're watching upstairs. So
All right,
yeah,
never
here.
mind. You big baby wouldn't come down one
Yep.
flight of stairs.
By the way, you and Tom, you and my stepdad are separated at birth. By the way, so there's lots of similarities there.
Your stepdad's that big an asshole, really?
I never said that. I said you guys have a lot of similarities.
I never said that.
He's got a huge
Okay.
to-do list. We have to let him go.
Yeah, we do have to let you
All
go.
right.
Chris, thank you,
Bye,
sir.
you guys.
Chris
Yep,
Egert,
see you
ladies
later.
and gentlemen, the best.
You can tell that house is like just vibrating with we're about to have people over.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's doing everything, running around like crazy, getting ice. You can just tell that that is
Indeed.
palpable, that we're about to have a lot of people in our house.
So I get invited to Mark Rosen's wedding, but I don't get invited to Chris's son's graduation.
In full,
deeply hurt.
To defend Chris, literally Rudy sent a group text with me and Chris saying, hey, I'd love to stop by the graduation party. What's the address? We didn't get formally invited. We kind of invited ourselves.
You wedged yourself in there?
Yes.
Oh, did you?
So I'm rare to defend people because it makes me laugh when you go, what the heck? But I have to say that it was definitely a casual stop by, have a drink after we invited ourselves.
When you guys get to the point in your life where I am right now, okay, like as far as an age thing is concerned, you get really uncomfortable with all that stuff because Sushere introduced me on his show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The legend. I'm like, don't say that. It sounds like I, opened up the wild, wild west or something.
I think we're pretty far off from anybody calling Brittany and I legend. So
I think you're
legendary
right.
people.
That's not like a worry I have is to be called the legend.
But can legend be a good and bad thing, or just a bad thing?
Sure.
Well, so there you go. So it means nothing.
I think 80% of the time it's got to be positive.
Oh, so 20% of the time I'm a raging prick. That's what you're saying.
No, I don't mean. I meant.
That's what you're saying.
80% of the time it's used.
Nope. That's what I heard you very distinctly.
I know exactly how they feel. Is the idea of there's so many things where I go, I know if I invite Tom, he'll come, but I don't want him to feel like he has to come. I know your schedule's crazy.
I do get that a lot. Yeah.
I know that exact feeling, and I have learned it's just so important. I remember my wedding was supposed to be just tiny and small.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to invite anybody. We're just going to do the participants at Gigi's Playhouse, Center for Down Syndrome.
Yep.
And people felt bummed. And so I was like, oh, I didn't mean that. It can happen so quickly where you go, I feel terrible. I didn't know people would want to come.
Catherine and I wedged our way in.
And I love that. I love that. I think, I love that. But it was like, I didn't think I was not going to originally invite anybody. And then I just realized you should almost just throw the invite out and they'll do what's right for them. But I know exactly how Chris felt. He probably didn't want to burden you with it.
You know what I should do? I'll buy a sweatshirt. I got to find out what size Dakota is. And then put on there, at the very top, put Dakota, and then under that, questions, north or south. And then that's all it'll say.
North or south.
I thought you were going to say get a sweatshirt with a dick on it. And then
we're back at Target again.
Go walks in. Oh, my God, we're out of here.
Oh, God, there's a schwanz on his shirt.
Oh, great.
I spotted it from miles away.
Oh, no.
All right, we do have to take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Mike Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a community bank based right here in the Twin Cities, we believe in taking the time to get to know our customers and their businesses.
And part of that is hiring and cultivating a team of experienced lenders. When your business banks with us, you're not training in a new, inexperienced banker.
In fact, our bankers have worked with many of the same customers for years, earning their trust. We get to know you and your business, and you get to know and rely upon us.
When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, we'll be here to help you.
Tom here. I know Brad and Mike, and I trust that with my banking, they've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker, North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers, and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8:52, 8 minutes till 9 o'clock. Got Kent Hrbek, Phil Mackey coming up, Tim Lammers next hour as well. A lot of good stuff. I can say this openly on the show. One of the great reasons, one of the biggest reasons I love Brittany is because of something that just happened. And I do love you. You know that.
I know. Let's not talk too much about it.
No, we're going to talk a lot about it because it's very important. People need to understand. But you've been close to my family now since you were, what, about 20?
Yeah.
So it's been a few years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're just talking about a little about Andy. We're not going to, by the way, there will not be a family show again today. There wasn't one yesterday. Will not be one today either because it's just not fair to Andy. He's taking this very, very hard. No question. We'll be back on Monday.
Yeah, he lost Hobbs.
He lost his buddy Hobbs, had to put him down. And I was just talking to Brittany about Andy was very, very upset and weeping openly that he had to take Hobbs in and have Hobbs put down at 20 years old and blah, blah, blah. And this is why I adore you, Brittany, because you started crying. You actually care.
Yeah, but I think we have a lot of listeners that can relate.
Oh, I suppose, yeah.
When you have I had Izzy she was 16.
Izzy, God, I remember Izzy.
Izzy licked your legs, and you were like, why does she keep licking my legs? And it was like, it was her thing. And whenever I'd go running, I'd let her lick my legs after, which is like, everyone thought was disgusting, but I don't know. Izzy was 16, and I had to put her down when I was 39 weeks pregnant. And I just remember, you had to be kind of careful who you tell, too, because people can be flippant about it. Yeah. They're like, well, she was 16, which at the time I was very emotional about. I was like, yep. And, I'd walk away and just be like, ugh. But it's hard because they're in your lives every day. And then when they're gone, I still look for Izzy. I'll see her in the corner of my eyes. And but so I feel bad. I feel bad for Andy. I feel bad it just sucks.
But you have to understand something. The fact that you care about my son enough to tear up about it means a great deal to me. It just does.
Well, I almost got embarrassed because I started talking about putting Izzy down and how hard that was. And even though it was time and it made sense and it was the best thing to do, there's things I regret. I didn't take her to get ice cream and weird things like that. But you know what? Andy and Hobbs, good friends, and let's talk about something else.
All right, we'll move on. But no, that's why my family loves you as much as they do.
Well, I think
because you care.
I think I care too much. It's actually a disease.
And actually, the reason she's crying is I punched her in the stomach.
I know. I go. I actually wanted to stop crying because I didn't want people to think during the break you said something mean to me. And
you suck.
Tom was like, "Can you please stop the recording for just a second? I'll let you know when you can hit play again. It's okay."
No, but I think more people should be that open and honest about things.
It just, losing a pet's a hard one, and I know, of course, losing, anything sucks and it's terrible. But losing a pet sometimes you can realize the world's a bit harsh, too, because when you say it to anybody, I mean, he's lucky he works in this environment. I don't know how you can he's where you can take work off, and because people are pretty...
Yeah. He's my baby boy.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's 36, 37 years old, what the hell ever, but he's 36. But he's always going to be my baby boy and my baby girl of Alex. That's how it's always going to be.
Yeah.
And my favorite Andy story. Maybe I could cheer you up with my favorite Andy story. I think I've told you this before. But I walk in and Andy's, I don't know, a little over a year old. He's standing up in his crib and he had taken his hand and shoved it down his pants, grabbed the turds and rubbed them on the wall behind his crib. So there was poop all over the wall. I walk in, I look at it, I look at him. He looks at me and says, son of a bitch. I will never forget that. It's like 15 months on, he goes, son of a bitch.
That's why I won't let Go-Go. I won't. Priscilla always listens to the show with Go-Go, and I'm terrified her first word is going to be Jesus Christ. You're a goddamn disaster.
But see, and one thing I really enjoyed about this just now is you tune in to television nationally, and all you see is anger and hatred, and I'm going to end your life, and I hate you, and blah, blah, blah. No, there's still a lot of really good people in the world. They just don't happen to be in national TV news. You are the worst people on earth other than the politicians.
Yeah.
It's also hard in the moment because I got home yesterday and my dog had peed in the laundry room.
Uh-oh.
And because he's 10.
No carpet, right?
No carpet, yeah.
You had to put him
that's
down.
the best.
Yeah, no carpet. But there is that moment where you're like, I am so pissed at you right now. Oh my God! I want to throw you through a freaking jet engine. I'm so angry right now. And then of course you go outside, and like 20 minutes later you calm down, and you're like, I bet I'm gonna regret that the day I have to take you to the vet. Like I should, because you yell, you scream, you're like, damn it! And then of course he cowers in the corner, and you're like, good, you stay there. Look at what you did. And then you feel awful about it in that moment, but it's hard to see that from
10. How old was he when you got him?
He was just about 5. Because
Okay.
we got him from a rescue. We got him from a puppy mill, yeah.
Because I feel like I was like, wow, I feel like you haven't had your dog that long, but he was 5. That makes sense.
Yeah.
God, that's weird, because we were going to start this show. I was talking to Dan Seaman about it.
Yeah.
And I said, I can go to rescue and get Brittany. You were in a kennel then, weren't you, I think, if I remember correctly.
Also, this Sunday, if you're looking for something to do, I'm helping out at the Secondhand Hound 5K. That's where I got Robot.
Where's that?
Nice.
It's over in Eden Prairie. I think it's like
All right.
Purgatory Park. It's got...
Oh, I like Purgatory Creek. That's a great creek.
Yes, I think that's... it's called the Fast and the Furriest.
It's kind of stupid. I just said that's a great creek. That's really stupid. It's a nice creek. It's a much better way to put it.
It's a good creek.
Yeah, but it's not great. I mean, it is great, but you shouldn't say it was a great creek.
It's creakety.
Creakety, man. But yeah, so everything's good now.
Yeah,
You're good to go.
Yeah, I'm emotionally stable in some ways.
Yeah.
Well, I admire that about you. A lot of people will never show any emotion at all. Those people are dangerous to me, man.
I miss those days. I've never been a non-emotional person, but
No.
it would have been. It'd be nice once in a while, man. I've cried in almost every workplace I've ever been in.
I have too, because I work there. I started crying. It was like, Christ. Even when I think of being at Cumulus, I still cry, for Christ's sake.
They say if you want to prevent yourself from crying, you breathe into your nose, but you start looking like a psycho at some point. Like you look like you're revving yourself up to fight someone.
I'm going to punch you right in the face after I'm done huffing and puffing.
I don't have a solution, but maybe
you do have a solution, that you actually care. That's your solution to everything. You are a lovely person who cares about a lot, and I really admire that, because most people don't have the guts to do what you do.
Will you just come for me, please? Just make fun of me or something.
You suck.
Thank
That's
you.
the worst hat I've ever seen.
Thank you.
And by the way, nice outfit there, Jeb.
Do you like my overall look?
Yeah, it's a really good look you got going.
I like your overall look.
Your overall.
Yep.
They are overall overalls.
I also like that you don't throw it in people's faces that you care too much, because those are the worst people to have in your life.
Yeah, because it's not real.
When they say things like, I guess I just care too much because I'm a lover and I want to see people succeed. It's like, no, you want people to say, thank you so much.
No.
Thank you for being you. That's why we give gifts. So
Yep.
people go,
Yep.
thank you. That's the same reason, yeah. So thank you for just crying to yourself, trying to hide it. I appreciate that.
And
You know
weeping
how
up a
often
storm in here.
I cry so often, it's bad. It's so bad. And it's not because I'm a good person. It's because I'm emotionally unstable and lack of sleep.
I still cry openly.
I know.
Damn right. If something nails me, what am I going to do? Hide the fact that I'm emotionally touched by that?
There was a time in the 2000s where they were like, don't cry at work ever.
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
always reading those articles being like, I've already failed this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a flex. It's mortifying.
But again, you have to understand, I'm crying because I work here.
Yes,
That's
it's
why I'm
true,
crying.
yeah.
Okay, so there you have it. But no, I hope we can get back to that when people actually give a rat's ass about each other, and rather than trying to make money off of everybody they come in contact with.
Yeah.
That'd be really nice if we get back.
We got to find some even ground because we're not. Yeah, it's wild.
Indeed. So do you guys have any movies or anything? I'm trying to look for some movies to watch. I do want to watch John Wick 4, but it's 3 hours long.
I've never watched John Wick. I just feel like it's passed me by, and I'm fine with it.
It's not for you. I can see. Well, the middle two were okay at best, so I don't know how the fourth one is, but
I know Bob loves them. Like he would. If he could have another kid, he would name it John Wick.
He's another guy, by the way. I love Bob Sansevere. He's a very sweet man. Would do anything for you.
He's I love.
He's a
Bob.
great guy.
Crumpet the Orb. I'm never gonna not call him Crumpet the Orb for the rest of his life.
He is Crumpet the Orb.
He's got it written. I can see on his paper.
He got it written on a piece of paper.
Yeah, no. Crumpet the Orb. I wrote it on the paper. So I
Orb.
don't forget it because that is too funny.
You've got
Sandy.
crazy person handwriting, by the way.
Poor Sandy.
You've got like random things. The way you wrote Dakota is terrifying. It's like a capital D and a capital K, and I don't know why. Look, show Tom that.
Yeah, it's the K is actually backwards. That's
It is
how
backwards.
terrible.
It's like a weird zero. You're a psycho. I'm convinced you're either a serial killer or you're 4. There's no other option.
I usually when I write in cursive almost exclusively, and
Which is so rare.
There was a woman on a flight one time who asked me. She goes, "What language is that?" It's English.
Do you know how much time in school we spent to learning cursive, only to never use it ever?
Right, ever again. Yep.
Constantly. I had hours. That's why you were talking about going to the right school, man. I had hours of my life dedicated to worksheets with cursive.
Were you guys in the business soon enough to be asked for your autograph?
Nobody's ever asked me for my
Because that doesn't happen anymore at all.
No.
I mean, we used to have like autograph things in Vegas and Key West and all the rest of it. Nobody does that anymore. Nobody does it.
You're right, 'cause it's all pictures.
Yeah,
everybody wants a picture.
Everybody wants a picture.
However, there is a woman who is making money hand over fist by giving you an exclusive signature. She's on TikTok. You find this woman. I can't remember her name, but my buddy Brian, who actually owns Golf Zone.
Oh, yeah.
Is somebody who paid this woman like $50 and said, "Give me 3 versions of my signature." And she wrote Brian in 3 different ways. And then she goes, "And here's how I wrote it." And he has one of the most beautiful signatures you will ever see.
Really?
Yeah, it's great. And she shows you. In fact, I've watched her TikToks, and then I go back and I'm like, so I make the R like that. And then you look at it and you're like, wow, that looks like I actually know what I'm doing. It looks like calligraphy almost. It's beautiful.
That's yours?
That's yours, Tom?
That's it right there.
What? It looks like Mammy.
Yo, Mammy, boy. No, it says Thomas M. Barnard. You can't see that?
Yeah. Well, quit giving everyone your signature.
Who cares?
You're right.
You're right. It does look. It says Mammy.
It does look like Mammy.
It does look like that.
Which actually fits as well.
It does. It does indeed. No question about it, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus, I don't know. What is with all these stories this morning after her daughter died in a chain used for sexual role play? A mother set out to find justice. Jesus. What a miserable way to start your Friday. That's all I've got to say. That's not good at all, is it?
I put in Tom's news story a fun local one about preschoolers who have their own version of Titanic movie here locally.
What?
Yeah. It looks pretty good. It's in the local section. Preschoolers
right there.
Yeah, check that one out. Give us one a go.
I love it. Crash, bang, it sank. Minnesota preschoolers make it their own version of the Titanic movie. They're preschoolers. This ought to be good. I think I'm going to really enjoy this.
Yeah.
The filmmakers, ages 3 to 6, began their project when one student brought in a photo of the ship for show and tell. The tiny movie stars and filmmakers, all aged 3 to 6 years old, strutted along a red carpet of rainbow-colored craft paper at the Riverview Theater, stopping often to pose for photos. Now, where's the Riverview again? I know where. God, I used to go there all the time, but I can't remember where it is. Where's the Riverview?
Riverview, I believe, is it's South Minneapolis, but it's like 36th and
42nd.
42nd. That's
what's right
42nd,
by the Mexican place.
Yeah, I believe there's a Mexican place down there. Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's the Riverview. But there is no river to view.
There's no river to view. I also,
it's really weird.
The Mississippi River is like
3 blocks away.
Well, more than that. I want to say it's
Is it more than that?
Yeah, it's got to be like, because that's over by Blue Door Pub, and that's still a good. You got a couple blocks to walk before you're going to hit the Mississippi River.
I wonder how Joe Mangeris is doing because he was ill for a while. Great family that owned that restaurant for all those years. I don't know if they still own it or not, but Joe, if you're listening, great guy. I miss you, pal.
they're showing a little bit of clips of the video of the movie they made, and they're in this.
Oh, that's their little kids.
Titanic little boat thing they made. The movie looks amazing. I would go see that in a heartbeat. That was the school that put it together was a school in Roseville, a Montessori. It's Kinderhaus Montessori in Roseville.
It's Montessori, but other than that, don't worry
thank
about
you. For the past 2 months, 30 preschoolers have been learning about the Titanic and making a short film about the ship. So looks like they had an amazing time.
They're gonna have to do something about the Montessori, though.
What's that?
Because it sounds like Hitler named it.
No, it doesn't.
It does too. It's named Kinderhaus.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant Montessori.
You need to get to Kinderhaus.
Get to Kinderhaus. Get to the Kinderhaus.
Get to Kinderhaus.
Pretty cute. Looks like they had a great time.
Yeah, they're having. Oh my God, she's all dolled up in her pink dress and all this. The little kid. The event marked the premiere of their movie called Crash Bang It Sank and provided a glittering celebration of what can happen when children have big ideas and adults to help them go full speed ahead. It's just amazing to be here and having gotten the kids' idea to this point, said Gina Heldberg, Gina Heldberg, the head of the school at Kinderhaus Montessori in Roseville. For the past 2 months, 30 preschoolers there have been learning about the Titanic and making a short film about the ship. They outlined the script, designed the props, and acted out the parts. Although the title summarizes the main plot points, the film also includes a detailed historical timeline and many factoids about the passenger liner that went down in the North Atlantic Ocean in 1912, along with more than 200 friends and family members. Have you ever watched any of the documentaries about the Titanic going down? There's a guy who was, I can't remember if he was a waiter, a server, what he worked in engineering, what he was. But they said the guy jumped off the ship and swam in the ocean. And remember, there were icebergs everywhere. So that ocean was freezing. He should have never lived through it. He got back out of the ocean, he was fine.
That's wild.
How is that possible? I mean, there has to be a God somewhere, I guess. Because he was literally, there's video of him going, what?
That's one of those thoughts you go.
What do you mean what?
You know how when you go, is he the luckiest SOB or the most unlucky SOB that he was on the ship? Like, you know, I mean, like that's where you could go either way with it if you're an optimist or a pessimist. Of where does he fall on the luck line?
A few Google searches and a couple of books later, the preschoolers were deep into their fascination with the ship. We're talking about the Titanic here again, and a little hung up on its luxuries. They even learned how many lemons, 36,000, and oranges, 16,000, were on board. I had no idea that was true. No idea. Then another student wondered aloud if they could make a Titanic movie. We chuckled about that, joking how that's never been done before. Yeah, never been done before.
Not that I can think of.
Heldberg said the students haven't seen the 1990. That movie is 26 years old.
Yeah. Holy bucket.
Jesus. Their parents say the kids have all been humming "My Heart Will Go On." Well, that's good. Now she's done performing. I heard her career is over.
Stiff person syndrome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I heard it's terrible.
Very sad.
So she was postponing all of her concerts. She finally canceled them and until she can get back on track.
What a great singer. God, she's a great singer.
Everyone loves her, too. They say she's so great to work with.
A very nice person.
Yeah.
The one thing about her that got a little annoying when she'd do this, "My heart goes on." It's like, stop hitting yourself in the chest, for Christ's sake.
Probably the origins of her disease. Great.
I mean, knocked herself out, exactly. Making the movie didn't just teach the kids an ocean's worth of facts about the ship. The students also learned all the roles it takes to make an independent film. I'm trying to edit down on the story. This is a very long story.
Yeah, it's cute. They had their fun night. I just got to show you this clip, too.
We got to watch the entire movie by the time you got through this.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the story goes on and on and on and on.
They are holding up the boat.
I know.
It's so funny.
And they're walking along, and the ship is bouncing up and down.
And the teacher's the iceberg.
Yeah.
She's just sitting there in this little shawl.
Very cool.
And they did a Lego reenactment. It's pretty cute. Well, how exciting for them, and how exciting to see them get to see that on the big screen and everyone go.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I think now this is the kind of education we should be giving our children. Learn about history, learn what it was all about, what caused it, what do you think happened. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of learning that I always enjoyed immensely. Yeah, I know 2 + 2, what else you got, right?
Yeah, and also taught them, you work hard and all these people show up to your event, you get to see it, and That's a huge lesson too.
I agree.
All the time and effort that went in. Also, those teachers, they put in their time. Imagine editing all the things and trying to get just kids to do what they're supposed to be doing. It's pretty cool.
Okay, nice headline you sent me.
What?
Alligator tries to eat snorkeler's head. What? Oh my God.
I was on an alligator kick last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were on it. You were.
Yeah.
But that's not a real alligator, is it? Holy Christ, that thing looks vicious.
Well.
Oh my God, that thing looks mad.
Yeah, that thing's looks pissed off.
I'm gonna whip your ass. Australian man frees his head from the jaws of a crocodile. Yeah, because they have crocodiles in Australia, not alligators, right? Different deal.
I have to trust you on that one.
I guess that's the deal. That's what I've been told anyway. Marcus McGowan said he was with his wife and friends off Cape York on Saturday when the croc bit him right on the head. Ouch! Jesus. Now that's got to hurt, don't you think?
Must not have been that big of a croc who bites you on the head and you can talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Does it say anything about the size? It says I was able to lever its jaws open just far enough to get my head out, McGowan said. The crocodile then attempted to attack me a second time, but I managed to push it away with my right hand, which was then bitten by the croc. Why was the croc being such a prick?
That's a great question.
Is it just the food thing?
He's got all them teeth.
He's got a lot of teeth.
No toothbrush.
Holy Christ. I think this crocodile might have been 22 feet long.
Wow.
Dang.
Is it a dinosaur, for God's sake?
He's kind of not great at being a crocodile, though. How do you have a victim in your mouth and you don't finish the job?
That's a good point. That's
Lazy.
a very, very good
Nobody
point.
wants to work nowadays.
Especially crocodiles. Jesus, what a story that is. Where did you find that?
I don't know.
The croc
The
story.
depths of internet.
It's all true, ladies and gentlemen. Brittany has ruined our lives, and it's just a fact. and
Another
nothing we can do
crocodile
about it.
attack.
Another one? What can one say?
Do you ever see them when you're in Florida?
Alligators?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I walked right up on one going, there's a kind of a bush going up to the, I guess it would be the 16th tee at Breakers West. It's not there anymore, and the reason it's not there anymore is because of this.
Yeah.
Because I went around the bush and walked right into a croc or an alligator.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, holy. But he just looked at me like, what the hell do you want? And then I hit my tee shot, and he went, you suck.
You suck.
Yeah.
Eat yourself. You're the worst. Put your head here.
Remember, my daughter was like 7, and she walked up to me. She goes, "Dad, what's the difference between alligator and a crocodile?" And I was like, "Well, I believe that crocodiles spend a little bit more time in the water submerged, and they have like a more rounded snout, where like an alligator is a more pointed snout." And I gave this big long explanation, and she goes, "Well, I was gonna say one you see later, and the other you see after a while."
That's pretty
Crocodile.
funny.
See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile.
She was sitting there just holding on to that, going,
when's this gonna end, old man? Yeah.
Gonna stop explaining.
The correct answer is, I don't know. What is the difference between an alligator? Yeah, so dum. I didn't even see that coming.
Crocodile's a lot bigger, from what I understand.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, alligator's a little tinier, a little more like sleek, and yeah, you're right, because we had seen one down golfing in Florida as well.
yeah.
And when we saw it just like its head just sort of pop up, and you're like, oof, you know what? I think I'll let that ball just lay there. I'll let somebody else get that one.
Big tip if you're going to go golfing in Florida, ladies and gentlemen, particularly southern Florida, on either side, doesn't matter. Be careful. Those little black snakes that are only about 7-8 inches long will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, let me pick that up. Don't touch that. It will kill you.
Yeah.
They're just packed with poison, I guess.
Florida's unreal. It does not, if you wouldn't go, you wouldn't think it's real. Like when you hear these headlines and these situations, you go, Florida is pretty nuts.
Oh, it can be. There's no question about that. And I don't know what it's going to be like in the future because how many, like 25,000 New Yorkers moved to moved to Florida in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, Palomino, it's going to get full.
Yeah.
We love it down there, though. We've been going down there, though, for 30 years, so 35 years, so I guess, we do love it down there. Been to both sides, like both sides of it. Ended up on the East Coast because of Louis Nanny and his family were over there, and Jerry Grudel, my buddy. Glenn Mason, former head coach of the Gophers, is over there, too. There's a bunch of friends over there, so that's where we ended up. And plus the fact there were other people from Minnesota I wanted to avoid by not going over to the West Coast.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. I just made that part.
Beverly, she's your number one.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
avoid.
That's exactly right. Avoiding your mother.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. She's in Fort Myers?
Yeah.
Fort Myers, that is a very nice area. And plus the fact having the twins there is a real plus, too.
It's so fun. They have like
great.
numerous days where they go watch them play, but I just love visiting her. I feel like
sure.
I'm ready to retire with that lifestyle, that golf cart.
Yes.
Oh man, I love it. And then we just go hang out at the pool, and I love her retired life, and can't wait.
We shall take a break. Be right back in a few minutes. Phil Mackey and Kent Hrbek will join us right after this.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live on the Tom Barnard Show app or at tombernardshow.com.
There's plenty of thoughts that come into your head when you think the name Killebrew. Of course, there's the Minnesota baseball legend, Harmon, who was responsible for many a favorite memory at the old Met Stadium in Bloomington, and many a baseball that ended up in the stands and in the gloves of adoring fans from his home runs. There's Killebrew Drive, the legendary road that connects Highway 77 to the Mall of America, and a day of shopping you'll never forget. My current thoughts for the name Killebrew is fun floats in our kitchen with my kids and grandkids, a cool, refreshing break in between innings at Target or CHS Field. Or maybe a perfect sunset paired with a sweet, frothy beverage after fishing or on your favorite walleye lake. Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Grab a six-pack at a grocery or convenience store near you. I'm Tom Barnard. This spring and summer, enjoy the one Killebrew root beer and cream soda. Gluten and caffeine-free with a generous portion of delicious thrown in. Killebrew, where memories are created and legends are made.
It's the Memorial Day auction from Air Mechanical. Your chance to save up to 70% on items. Like this. You can save up to 70% on these amazing items and services. Bid now on a super high efficiency plus condensing tankless water heater from Rinnai. Enjoy an endless supply of hot water. Also bid on Aeroseal duct sealing. Very effective way to improve the efficiency of heating and cooling systems by reducing air leakage. Just go to tombernardshow.com and enter keyword auction to bid now. That's tombernardshow.com and enter keyword auction.
Tom Barnard here. Are you ready for some throttle therapy? Cruise the water in luxury on a brand new Bennington pontoon from Power Lodge. Enjoy sunset from the water, entertain the kids, and float on the lakes all summer long. It all starts at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine of St. Cloud. Hundreds of pontoons in stock across all Power Lodge locations. Your summer fun begins at Brainerd's newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Enjoy the best days of summer on your favorite lakes in a brand new Bennington pontoon from the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge in Ramsey, with locations in Brainerd, Onamia, Ramsey, and Miller Marine in St. Cloud, and hundreds of Benningtons in stock across all locations. The Power Lodge is your destination before you hit the lakes this summer and cruise at sunset. Fun begins at the Lodge, the Twin Cities' newest Bennington dealer, the Power Lodge. Get some throttle therapy on land and water, millermarine.com and powerlodge.com, and you can tell them Tommy sent you. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be ridiculed for the rest of the show because I'm the only one not wearing a hat today.
It's hat day.
I'm out of the mix.
It's hat day.
So look, I'm being
barely recognized you without a hat today.
I'm telling you, honest to God, I just I'm very professional. This is the problem. I have a meeting after the show, so this is my professional outfit right here.
Wow, look at that.
What do you think?
I think the tube socks and boxer briefs might be a little light on the bottom half here. I can't see below the fold here on the camera, but you might want to put some pants on.
Yeah, you don't want me wearing boxer briefs. Let me just put it that way. You don't need that. That's all I'm saying.
You look dapper today.
I look all dapper today. And I do wear shorts once in a while, not very often, because I literally get stopped on the street going, "Why are your calves so big?" I'm like,
so you're like Phil Mickelson.
I have
like the muscular...
massive calves. They're huge, and that part, my legs were not part of the weightlifting deal either. I just have gigantic legs. They're short, but they're gigantic.
Just naturally beautiful calves.
Nah, kind of stubby.
Okay.
That's the problem with the whole deal. Like I said, I'm a monkey because I have a 30-inch inseam and 37-inch sleeve length. That's very monkey-like.
But you're our monkey, sir.
You're our favorite monkey, Tom.
I did not say favorite.
Oh, you didn't. You're right.
No, she just said a monkey. Yeah.
Now, is Kent with us as well? Oh, he is. Okay.
Good morning.
Oh, there he is right there. Ladies and gentlemen, now I can say the words, Minnesota legend, Kent. Hey, I was called a legend on Joe Souchere's show the other day. So you and I are both legends now. What do you think of that?
Oh, my.
My goodness.
I guess I have to straighten up.
And fly right, baby. Minnesota legend Kent Hrbek Sports is brought to you by Killebrew Old Fashioned Root Beer and Cream Soda at the ballpark up north or in your fridge. Killebrew Root Beer and Cream Soda. Of course, Phil Mackey from Skor North. I have to. It's confession time in front of the two people here. With the two people, Phil and Kent are remote. I am taking full responsibility for the Twins season so far, because I have noticed, and I'm not kidding, and yesterday's game was a perfect example. I tuned into the game yesterday, got home a little late, tuned into the game. They were up, I believe, 4-1. I watched one half an inning. They were down 5-4. I went, son of a... So I tuned out, and I went, Jesus, they're going to lose another one. That'd drive me nuts. Game's over. I figured, well, I better find out the final score. The second I tuned out, they just hammered the ball and won the game. This is anytime the Twins lose, it's my fault. I want you to know that. If I had stayed and watched the rest of the game, they would have never won that game. I'm here to tell you.
You're the jinx.
Yeah.
You know what? I did the same thing, Tom, yesterday. I was listening to the start of the game. I saw they went up 3-1 or whatever it was, and was out running around doing some stuff out and cleaning up the yard, and I came back in and flipped the TV on. Daughter and I were watching it, and boom, 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 boom. The Guardians, excuse me, I almost said Indians. They threw a 5-spot on them there in the sixth inning. And I went, oh, geez, perfect. I just turned on the TV at a perfect time, and I went, oh, no. And then they come back. I'm good at that too. I'm good at turning on. But boy, that was a nice comeback win there last night for him, and against Cleveland, who has walked them off enough. So the Twins returned a favor and walked them off last night. So that was nice.
Well, I have a question for you, because you just said, because I still do that same thing. It's, look, I understand why you want to get rid of the name the Washington Redskins. I understand why you'd want to get rid of that name. But what's wrong with aren't you honoring the Indians by calling your team the Indians? What's wrong with that?
That's something that's still very debatable, I guess.
I don't know. I'd be honored if they call it the Minnesota Bernards. Huh? What do you think of that name, baby?
I think that was in consideration for a while there, but yeah.
3-4 seconds. 3-4 seconds. Is that what it was?
That's very offensive.
Just call it
the Barnard
Show. Barnard Show. That's very offensive. Get rid of it. Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented Doug Sprinthal just walked into studio.
God, it's been a long time since.
Oh, he doesn't have your mic on yet. Hold on a second. You got it?
Now we're good.
There we go.
There you go.
Man, I haven't been in here a long time. This is
Where the hell you been?
Well, it's all modern and stuff.
Oh, you haven't been in here since all this stuff was put in?
Television? What is this thing?
What thing?
It's that's Catherine's ring light.
It's Catherine's ring light. It makes her look good.
Oh, boy.
She has to have the right
me?
light. Well, you and I are married to some pretty attractive women.
That's true.
And you know how that goes.
But they don't need any additional assistance.
I agree. Now look at that. But look how much more beautiful.
Oh, it's got so hot.
Look at how beautiful.
I'm ready for my second husband.
Oh, well.
It's very expensive.
That's not very nice, now, is it?
Just so you know.
But yes.
Did he bring donuts?
Yeah, did you bring donuts?
I did not bring donuts.
Damn
it. It's National Donut Day, for God's sake.
Brought some T-shirts with dicks on them, though.
Would you leave me
alone? They call those dickies.
Dickies.
Yeah, they're called a shirt's called a dickie. Now, we were just talking earlier about what would offend you in a store, and I said, well, I don't think I'd really care to walk through like a Target store and see a bunch of dicks on T-shirts. And Brittany, of course, went, well, why not?
I said, I don't care.
She doesn't care. She's never seen one, so she doesn't know
what
what
it looks like. Look at my internet history.
Yeah, look at your internet. Look at all the porn she brings up every morning.
That was my favorite line. Did you ever watch White Lotus, any of those episodes?
I watched one and hated it.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't like it. But the grandfather at one point is talking about somebody who exposed himself, and he goes, it's a penis, for crying out loud. It's not like it's a sunset.
Ooh, that's a good line,
actually.
Funny,
actually.
Well, that was in the first episode, wasn't it, when he whipped out his dick?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, they got the wiener hanging out. I got to go. But whatever, you watch whatever you want to. I heard a lot of people love that show.
It has become one of my favorite new shows.
Yeah, that's what everybody. A lot of people think that way. There's no question.
It's a weird show. You got to stick with it. But the first two seasons are. I love how we've gone from like The Twins took one from the Guardians last night to talking about penises on White Lotus. Here
That's
in the last
because
3
of
minutes.
Brittany to my right over here. She's filthy.
No, it's because I walked in. I had no idea you were talking to Kent Hrbek. I probably wouldn't have opened with it.
Yes, you besmirched Hrbek.
The show once in a while.
Yeah, and thank you, Ken. Thank you. Ken's making a lot of great points today. First the donut thing, and now
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Ken, I appreciate you being the voice of reason on this show.
You are the voice of reason.
I tried to be. Yeah.
There's no getting around it. Now, I got to ask everybody a question here because I'm trying to put together this thing. It's kind of like an event. It's not really at my house. It's in the cul-de-sac in front of my house.
Where all the peons hang out.
Well,
The little people.
Jimmy Francis wants to bring over his meat truck. He's got this. He does. He got this big meat truck. Of
course he does.
And he wants to grill out. And then I got a call from Tire Carver. He wants to bring his ice cream truck over to it.
Oh.
It's on the 9th of. It's a week from today, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Can you guys want to do that? Do you have any interest? Cause you gotta let me know if you want to do it. Because if you don't want to do it, then I don't want to do it.
So we'd be eating meat and ice cream.
Meat
I'm
and ice
in.
cream. Okay, you're in. How about the two of you?
Does the meat truck have dicks in it? That's what I want to know.
If there's a dick on the meat truck, I ain't eating it. I'm just
We
telling
can
you.
just make a popsicle just for you.
I'll have everybody else's share.
My mother used to take hot dogs and cut them down the middle so they wouldn't look at all like a schwanz. So then I would eat it.
In the military, we weren't allowed to eat bananas unless we cut them up.
Are you kidding?
Because I was an infantry unit. It was so stupid. It was so funny.
Oh, God.
I
And
guess old people forget how much damage raging hormones do when you're
No,
22.
it was so stupid because by no means is that going to be the differentiator.
So-
I think the wind could blow and they could get
That's
a
right.
boner. So I don't know why we were worried about.
Now, Chris Egert said he's already in. I would have to talk, of course, to Judd about that. Do you guys have any interest in it's only going to be a couple-hour gathering. It's not going to take up your whole night or anything like that.
Well, so you know what I'm doing next Friday, actually? It depends on the timing here. So my wife got me tickets. They're opening up Target Field next Friday, like for the weekend, for you to golf from the upper deck.
Oh, fun.
So they have like 18 golf holes. Now you can't hit anything more than a 9-iron because they don't want people taking 3 woods off the IDS tower downtown Minneapolis.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But so we have this sounds really, really douchey, but we have a tee time at Target Field on Friday night.
What time?
That I need to make. I think it's at like 6 o'clock or something.
It's not going to work for you.
They want you there like 30 minutes early, and so
Yeah.
I don't know what this entails, but I'm going to go and
That's
get
so
buzzed and
All
hit
right.
some
What?
9-irons off the scoreboard.
Is Judd going too?
I highly doubt it. Judd has golfed one time in 25 years.
He was
that
telling
I've
me he doesn't
seen.
golf anymore, yeah.
It was. You should ask him about it. So he told us he hadn't picked up a golf club in 20 years, and we said, "Oh, we're doing a live broadcast at a golf course, so let's have the audience set an over/under for a par 3. You don't get any warm-up swings. Your first swing in
I
20
love
years
it.
is
Love
from the
it.
tee. From the tee." And so he actually triple bogeyed the hole and got. I think the audience set it at a quadruple bogey. That's the only
pretty
time he's
bad.
ever golfed in 25 years.
That is pretty bad. All right, well, so basically you're out already.
I'm in, but of course I'm in.
I think I'm going to be in town. I don't know yet. It's up in the air for me. So
Well, I live about 3 blocks from you, so it wouldn't be that far for you to come.
you live 3 blocks from me.
Well, not that far. It's maybe 3 miles. It's not very far. I know that.
Okay. Well, let me have somebody fire a text off to me and let me know addresses and stuff.
Well, I just wanted to make sure that I asked you up front, so I gave you 7 full days to try to duck out of it. There you go. All right, let's talk a little Twins because Kent and I tried to destroy the game yesterday, but luckily we both tuned out just in time for them to come firing back and win the game, which is good news.
Right. Yeah, the boys have been playing all right. They had a great series down in Houston. They took care of the Astros. I think you can still call them the Astros. They haven't changed their name yet. And yeah, they had some issues, which was kind of weird. That half the team wasn't starting. They had Lewis and Correa and Buxton out of the lineup there the last game in Houston, and they end up bombing a ball around the ballpark and score a ton of runs, which you didn't think was going to happen. Louis Varland pitched a heck of a ball game for him, our Minnesota boy here from Concordia, St. Paul. Pitched a heck of a game for him. And then they come back home here playing the Guardians and started off with a nice win last night. So I don't know. There's going to be some issues in the infield now with Correa having an issue with his foot. I don't know Bill, what you've heard about that at all? But
it's plantar fasciitis, and he re-aggravated it last night.
That's tough.
So, and that can be something. It kind of depends on, like how bad it is. But rest is the only thing that can get rid of it. So he might just have to sit for about a month. But you know what? After watching Royce Lewis for 3 games here, Herbie, I don't even know if they need a shortstop. I think Royce Lewis covering the entire left side of the infield and hitting 8th and 9th inning bombs all over the ballpark. He's played 3 games since coming back from the torn ACL. He did do a minor league stint. And he has a game-winning home run and now a game-tying home run in the 8th to send the Twins on their way yesterday. And he's a former number 1 overall pick. There's something about him that feels like a franchise player, just from my amateur perspective.
That is it's a good point, but remember he's walking around on a knee or a couple knees that are issues. So we have to. I'm sure he's going to have to get his rest once in a while to make sure that knee stays healthy. But you're kind of walking around on glass with that. It's great that the guy's doing well. I'm happy as heck he's back. But he might not have another issue with it. But there's always that thing in the back of your mind. You got Byron Buxton who's walking around on a couple legs, I think, that have issues, and then we talked about it at the start of the season here. Staying healthy is going to be the key to how this team does. I know they're deep. It's the deepest I think I've seen their team in a long time. Not only in the field but on the mound. And that's what's saving them right now is their pitching has done a phenomenal job. And who knows where they could be if the offense comes around someday. But like I said, with these guys in the lineup, I don't know. It seems like these guys come up from AAA, they struggle, they send them back down to AAA, and they go bananas. Like Larnach down there, is bombing the ball for him. He had trouble up here.
Matt Wallner too. Matt Wallner has like 4 home runs this week or something.
Right. So, I think it's. They're getting wins. They're winning goofy ways. They won last night, like you said, in a comeback fashion, which was nice. But staying healthy and keeping your bulls on the field, the main boys on the field. But then again, we need help from everybody in the lineup. Castro's done a great job. He's been hitting the ball well.
Yep.
From guys that are all over the lineup. It's not going to be one guy every night. I mean, I hate to go back to when we played. It was such our team. If like a guy like Gaetti back in the 80s, G-Man could carry your club for 2 weeks, but then for 2 weeks, G-Man couldn't hit the broadside of the barn, and he knew it. He said, "Right now, I suck." But then boom, he'd come back, and you need guys picking each other up, and they're in first place. You can't bark about that. They got a 2.5 game lead now, I think, on Detroit, who is sneaking up and playing some good baseball. But, staying healthy, I think, is the big key, and keeping that pitching staff healthy. And they have some issues in the bullpen once in a while, I guess. But a couple guys have stepped up and done a great job in the bullpen, too.
It's true.
Hey, Tom, can I give you the funniest twin statistic right now?
Okay, do me a favor, though. But do you have to be out by 37, 38?
Yeah, 38. Let's get
38.
out.
Okay, good.
Two more minutes.
I just wanted to make sure, because I have something to tell you before you go.
So Joey Gallo, who is pretty much exactly what Kent just said, the Gaetti anecdote, right? Where for 2 weeks, Joey Gallo could carry your team. For 2 weeks, he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. I mean, Gary Gaetti could make contact more often than Joey Gallo, but we're 50 games into the season. Joey Gallo has 2 more home runs than singles so far.
That's phenomenal.
He has 11 home runs, 9 singles.
That's what a story that is.
And how many strikeouts?
A few.
Let me calculate. 62 strikeouts in 165 plate appearances. So
that's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. But that's who he is. That's who he is. He's been that way his whole career.
It is true. All right, I have to point something out here because we were just talking about this, playing Houston, all the rest of it, and it brought back a memory for me. And Phil's got to go in about a minute, so I want to point this out. When I was a little boy, I was 10 years old, the team in Houston was called the Colt 45s, the Houston Colt 45s. That was their name. You guys are too young to remember that probably, right?
No, I remember that.
Oh, you do remember that? Well, in 1965, they changed their name. So I'm now 13 years old. They changed their name. I'm at my buddy Frankie's house. My buddy Frankie's dad, let me put it this way, enjoyed a cocktail. Okay, let me just put it that way. I'm watching the game over at my buddy Frankie's house, and they're introducing the teams, and his dad is in the kitchen mixing a drink, hard to believe. They announce the Astros. He comes in, he goes, "What the hell are you guys watching?" I said, "We're watching a baseball game." He goes, "Well, when did they change the name of the team?" I said, "This year was the first year." He goes, "They changed the name from the Colt 45s to the Houston Assholes?" I said, "No, that's not quite what it was, sir." I, to this day, don't know if he was kidding or if he was serious.
Although the year they got caught cheating with like the bang in the trash can,
Yeah,
I think most people wanted them to be renamed to the Assholes.
Yeah, they did. After that season, it was true. But I wish I knew to this day. I assume he was kidding, but he might not have been. He might have been enough schweels in to maybe really think that.
Was he sipping on the cocktail when he said that? Or
Yes, he.
Was it a day game?
I don't remember that. That I do not remember.
Well, he might have been a few Colt 45s in when he made that
Well,
comment.
see, there you go. You go from the Colt 45s to the Assholes, and he's both. So that's good. All right, Phil, we will talk to you on Monday, correct, sir?
We'll be recapping maybe a sweep of the Guardians or the Tribe or whatever we can't call them the Tribe either. The Guardians.
Why not?
The
Jesus.
Gardos.
It's an
the Gardos.
honor to call somebody. If you want to name your team the Minnesota Honkies, I'm all in. Right?
The Bernards. The Bernards. I like where you're going.
The Tom Brainards. That's exactly right. All right, pal. We'll talk to you Monday.
See you guys.
Kent Hrbek, ladies and gentlemen, with us. So,
Yes. Big night tonight at the ball game, Tommy. It's ALS night at the ballpark tonight.
That's wonderful.
Which is Major League, all of Major League Baseball is doing an ALS night, which is pretty cool in honor of Lou Gehrig. And so that game is tonight. And I think they're all wearing a patch with the number 4 on it, I believe, on the uniforms, and which is pretty cool. And I am, believe it or not, can't make the game tonight because I am going up to Duluth for our ALS fishing tournament. The Kohler ALS Walleye Tournament is up in Duluth this weekend.
Sure.
Our 28th year we've done this, raising money for ALS. So we'll be up fishing on Island Lake, walleye fishing and bass fishing. But the 28th year we were doing that. I was a youngster when we started doing this tournament, but raising a ton of money. Raised about $280,000 last year in the fishing tournament, and going to go for that number again. And so we'll be chasing walleyes on the lake, raising money for ALS tomorrow. While they raise some money for ALS tonight at the ballpark.
Yeah. How many years have it been since you lost your father, Kent?
40 years. 41 years.
What?
Yeah.
Honest to God.
1982.
Oh my God! I had no idea that was the case.
Yep.
41 years.
Yeah, we've been fighting ALS for a long time here in the Hrbek household, and everybody around the state. We've made a pretty good project, and we got all kinds of stuff going on. The fishing tournament, the snowmobile ride next February again. That's the 25th year we've been doing that. Terry Steinbach is kind of heading that up. His father also passed away from ALS, so. That's kind of my chore right now in life is raising money for people to help people out with ALS and hopefully find a cure someday.
I know you only got about 1 minute left, but I will tell you. Didn't you come up in 81 or 82?
81. August 24th.
The day before my mother's birthday, actually. I do remember that
There we
part.
go. And speaking of birthdays, my girlfriend's mother, Kenny Lou, out in Casper, Wyoming. Happy birthday number. Was it? I forgot the number. No, I know.
Good
It's
job.
okay.
Good job, Ken.
Probably diplomatic.
Yeah, you know what? I don't
Yeah,
think
exactly.
she's mad at that. It's fine.
I think you're okay with that, but
Happy
39,
birthday.
I think. Yeah.
Do you ever wonder, and I'm not trying to be too sad about this here, but just the way life goes. You come up into the major leagues, and 1 year later you lose your father, man. That the universe gets very weird sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you know what? He sat me down in the bed when he had Lou Gehrig's. He sat me down on the edge of the bed and talked to me and said, "Hey, kid, keep playing the game like you wanted to play. I'll be all right. Go for it." And took a lot of pressure off of me, and probably changed my mind right there to say, hey, I got to do something about this disease. So got together with not only the Minnesota Twins, but all of Major League Baseball now, and a bunch of friends and family that have helped out, raising a ton of money and hopefully doing some good and helping other people that have been afflicted with the disease. So
yep, it's wonderful.
Here we go.
It is true, because I remember when I was a little boy, about the same age, my father came to me and said, "Tom, I'm going to abandon the family. You got any cash on you?" Anyway.
Same story. It's like looking in a mirror,
like
you
looking
two.
in a mirror. There's no doubt about it.
Jesus Christ.
Kent, we will talk to you next week. Looking forward to it, pal. And I seriously, all the work you've done to honor your father, man, it's so admirable. It's amazing. You're a hell of a guy.
I appreciate that, Tom. And you guys have a great weekend. Go Twins. Beat the Guardians, the Gardos, or whatever you want to call them. And, have a Colt 45 and a Killebrew root beer while you're watching the game tonight.
And don't be such an Astro. That's all I'm saying. Talk to you later, Kent. Thank you,
Be
sir.
good, boys. All right, and girls. See ya.
Bye, Kent.
Bye. Kent Hrbek, ladies and gentlemen. Just another thing in my life. I don't know how the hell it works out. I get to work with Kent Hrbek for the rest of my career. I love that.
Yeah, he was sneaky, my sneaky favorite. I didn't have any expectations going in, and he's always my favorite on Friday. I get really
Great
excited.
guy.
He's just so. What? It's National Donut Day. Why don't you bring donuts?
Just a classic Minnesota
Totally.
guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
I love
I
him.
agree.
My husband's like, "Are you in love with Kent Hrbek?" I'm like, "I might be." He's like, whenever I come back, I'm like, "You know what Kent said?" He's just so funny.
Great guy.
And this is the only town where guys can do that, I think.
He's a great guy.
When Bud Grant was alive, it wasn't that many years ago that he had a garage sale every fall. He'd give out his address on the morning show.
I know.
Like, what other other city is going to go, "Oh, cripes, let's go over to Bud's"?
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
That's
It's
great.
so true. Would it be a gate?
I just looked at my messages, by the way, and I had mentioned that I was going to be hanging out with you today when the show kicked off this morning. I'm going over. It's about a 45, 50-minute drive over. And I've already gotten several messages this morning, just got another one. Is it called Baldwin Ford?
No, it was.
It was, yeah, I remember that.
The guy that I worked for and his partner owned 5 dealerships, and they wanted to have similar names, so it's renamed Flagship Ford. But it is in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
Okay, Flagship Ford, because everybody wants to go over there. Because people are not going to mind driving 45 minutes if they can go buy a car from where you work.
Well, that's really wonderful.
It is very. Our
and it's
listeners love
touching.
you, man.
Thanks. Now you're going to make me cry.
Yeah, there you go. You and Brittany tearing up in here. That'll be great.
You know, it's funny that when the guy that hired me says, "Now, are you going to be okay with the drive? Because it's, in the summertime, it's 50 minutes to get there."
Right.
And I'm like, well, and I'm psyched the first week, so I'm not sleeping anyway. It's a new challenge.
Sure.
But I will tell you, it's a country commute, which is different than commuting from
Totally
the city.
different. Yeah.
And I've got the Tom Barnard podcast app. I listen to you guys all the way up, and then
my God,
the rest of the show all the way back.
Thanks,
So
Doug.
let's tell you what's different about commuting in the country. So I'm driving up County
Yes,
Road
there you
F
go.
one day. Some kid on a crotch rocket goes by me at 85 miles an hour
Whoa.
riding a wheelie. It's kind of impressive. Then I come over the hill, and there's Ma and Pa Kettle doing about 15 miles an hour in a 40-year-old Grand Marquis. So I get around them, come over the next hill, and get stuck behind a combine. So it's different commuting in the country.
It's like NASCAR, but
That's right,
different.
but different, yeah.
What a story.
So it's been fun. I started my career selling Fords, and I'll finish it doing the same thing. And I dig the people. You're gonna get overrun there today. Just so.
Well, that's a nice thing, though, getting overrun. Unless you're talking about with your car.
No. Everybody's like, "Do you think he'd be okay if I took a picture?" And I said, "Yeah, I think he'd be okay."
As long as I can give him the finger.
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
Right
That's
there,
a strong
Buster
finger.
Brown.
Yeah. Boom. I'm excited. I'm excited to see your new whip as the young kids would say.
My new whip.
Your
Do
new
they
whip.
still say that?
No, they don't.
I think that
No.
went out
In
10
fact,
years ago.
There's a car is a whip?
Are approaching not being young.
I'm
You're
very
not
aware
cool
of
at
that.
all anymore.
I've been informed by the McKenna, who is 15, that I'm not cool many times. She lives on our cul-de-sac.
Sure.
So if I said whip in front of her, she probably would die of embarrassment.
We'll get over it.
Really nail her and go with hoopty.
Doug, I'm sorry. I wish I would have known you were at Ford. I just ordered a Ford Maverick like 2 days ago.
Oh, man.
Really?
Literally. I
Those
had
are
no
cool.
idea. Yeah. I literally just ordered one. Yeah.
Liar! Anyway, sorry. I had to stop there. I had
Well,
to
you'll
go there.
enjoy that. They're hard to get. You can't find. They're not in stock anymore. So, what most people don't know, Ford came out with a really small pickup truck. It's based on a Ford Edge platform with about a 5-foot bed, but they get, the 4-cylinder hybrids get like 45 miles to the gallon. And they're, I don't know, Rudy, how much is it? Was it 30 grand or so?
No, the model that I got was about 24,000.
Yeah.
Brand new, built straight up off the line, 24 grand. And you're right, about 40. That's why I bought it, because for all the road gigs I do for comedy,
Yeah, right.
I couldn't handle getting 15 miles to the gallon anymore. I'm like, the gas prices are way too expensive.
Right.
So,
Yep.
yeah,
That's
I wish
true.
I'd have known, man. I would have come over. But
Just smash this one up in a drunk rage and then come on over and use the insurance check and order
Sounds like
another one.
sure, that's a great
Very
plan.
He's a
Yes.
comedian,
Yeah,
so right.
economical plan. Absolutely. I'm glad
Whoops,
we're
wait a
making
minute, that's insurance
premeditated
fraud.
a
Never
little,
mind.
but hey.
All right, we got to take a break here. Be right back. But so you have flagship Ford in Baldwin.
Yeah, they have flagship Chevrolet in Zumbrota, Minnesota.
That's a Chevrolet
And then a
dealership in
couple of
Zumbrota.
stores up in western Michigan.
Western Michigan? Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool.
I think up by Traverse Cities. But
So, because we have listeners up there anyway,
Yeah.
so that's good. But, so if you're looking for a Chevy, go to Zumbrota. You're looking for a Ford, you go to Baldwin, Wisconsin.
if you want, email me. I changed my email address. It's Doug at Flagship Ford, and I can connect you with people down at the Chevy store. So
What happened to Doug at I'm the Greatest? What happened to that
it was
website?
taken.
It was already
Yeah.
taken by Doug Flutie.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Because he was trying to get I'm the shortest, but
Oh, that's kind of cold. All right, we do have to take a break. Come right back. We will talk to Timmy Lammers along with Doug Sprinthal. It is great to have you back in studio, man.
this is like so high tech and everything works.
Everything works, man.
No, we
Depends
don't
on the
have
day.
the tie line crapping out and it's just all the. Anyway,
It's
this
all
is cool.
true. It's all true. I wouldn't say that stuff doesn't crap out too loud in front of
Okay, I'm sorry.
front of Rudy. Though, 'cause
Well,
once
when
in a
I've been
while-
listening, it sounds great, and the breaks are professional. It's just the production is great, and
Rudy's
the
pretty-
content is
yeah.
good.
Just do what I asked you, though. I said, when you say this show sounds great, you got to, including Brittany.
Thank you.
I'm surprised to see that you have a microphone. I didn't think you actually needed one.
Oh,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Touchdown.
I actually feel more comfortable when you guys are being mean to me, and when you guys are being nice to me, I'm like, are they firing me
Yeah,
today?
I heard
Like,
you about
yeah,
starting to
so
ball over Hobbs this morning.
I appreciate it, Doug.
It was
Come in
very
strong.
touching.
Yeah.
It
I
was
love
very,
that.
very touching. It really was.
You suck and you're old.
Thank you.
All right.
I am both things.
Wait a minute. Did you say that about a Tim Lammers? You suck and you're old? Is that what you just
Oh,
said?
is Tim here?
Tim's going to be on right after this, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the Tom Barnard Morning Show. Listen live at tombernardshow.com or on the Tom Barnard Show app.
You know, I've got to say, I'm feeling fantastic. As you may have heard, I've been following the fat loss program at mnfatloss.com, and I've lost right about 23 pounds so far. I've been following the program for about 4 weeks now, a little over that, somewhere in there. And I can tell you it feels great to be going into summer having lost the weight in just a few weeks' time. You will absolutely be able to lose weight like I've done and still enjoy the foods you love this summer. That's a huge part of it. Yeah, to be able to enjoy your summer is huge. I'm eating my favorite grilled steak and chicken, along with fresh vegetables and berries, drinking lots of water. No wonder I feel great. If you want to find out the secret to losing 20 to 30 pounds in just 8 weeks, just like I'm doing, that's about a pound of fat every day, by the way. No exercise required. To schedule your free consultation, go to mnfatloss.com. That's mnfatloss.com. Results may vary. Be sure to tell the team at mnfatloss.com that Tom Barnard sent you. There's a guy named Tom Cross who likes to do kite things. Tom takes the phrase, go fly a kite, to an extreme, and for years goes all over the country in search of great kite flying events. Lincoln City, Oregon comes to mind, with Chinook winds and 7 miles of pristine beach that draws folks from all over North America for the best kite flying conditions in the world. Tom brings a little Minnesota with him when he goes to Lincoln City in his new Forest River RV Rockwood Roo, 19 expandable trailer, of course, that he hauls from Niemeyer Trailer Sales in Albertville and Elko Newmarket, Minnesota. Niemeyer Trailer Sales is the only place Tom would prepare his next kite flight. Solar panels, full bath, exterior griddle, double-door refrigerator, queen beds, and sleeps 6 every night in the RV Rockwood from the place that is your family-owned guide to RV trailers and truck accessories since 1965. This is Tom. Visit my friends at Niemeyer Trailer Sales and take your passion on the road. Niemeyer Trailer Sales. Go to NIEMEYERS.com. Niemeyer Trailer Sales.
My name is Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man. And things are going great.
Oh, yeah. You were supposed to be here at 5.
All right, whatever.
Whatever?
Wow.
Whatever?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the lovely and talented Tim Lammers on the Tom Barnard Show. What's up, Timmy?
Hey, how are you doing, sir? And of course, I'm brought to you by our friend, not Doug at IamTheGreatest.com, but Mr. Bryant.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant. Stop.
I like the way that sounds, though, Doug at IamTheGreatest.com.
That's not bad. I should. I'll send you. Do you remember the goof version of Mike's jingle that I
Yes, I do.
It was about the Terry Bradshaw.
Terry
being
Bradshaw
pissed off at Mike Bryant.
And Bryant.
And if you want to talk to a real attorney, call 1-800-DIAL-GARY.
Yes. Oh, 1-800-DIAL-GARY. Is that a drunk deal?
Yeah. Mike
so.
thought it was funnier than else.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
How are you, Tim?
I'm good. Good to see you again, Doug.
Yeah, it's cool to be here.
It is very cool. And seeing each other over the internets.
Yeah, they've got all this modern technology and the sound is synced up.
I know, man.
Window right behind you. What do you think of that action, man?
Ginormous. It's ginormous.
It's huge.
Indeed. Well, Tommy, I'm with you on this one today. It's kind of like superhero movie.
I know. I'm so sick of that. God, it's all they have now.
I have to say, I mean, I love superhero movies. I really do, but just getting to the point now where there's no excitement anymore. Now, I do have The Flash coming up in a couple weeks, and I have a lot of hopes for that one because Michael Keaton is coming back as Batman. So that kind of takes it all home, back to the beginning, back to, Tim Burton's Batman in 1989 and all that sort of stuff. But I think other than that, I wonder, would I have been surprised about that? Well, Spider-Man now, the live action stuff was good. I mean, Spider-Man No Way Home was good. And then in between then, they came out with this Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is this really, really trippy animated stuff. And I don't know if anybody in studio had seen that original picture in 2018. Brittany, you're nodding your head. You saw that one?
Into the Spider-Verse, yeah, with Miles, the cartoon.
Miles Morales,
yes, love. I would say it was one of those ones I went into. My sister was playing it in her backyard on a projector, and I was like, I'm just doing this for the nephews. Next thing I know, I was like, everybody shut up, this movie's good. I was like, no more talking. And I ended up watching it like 3 more times.
Stop having fun.
I know, shut up. Auntie needs to hear the plot.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting because the visuals, I mean, the animation is so unique. It did win, actually, the Best Animated Feature Film Oscar for 2018. So I get it. It's different. It's like a comic book coming to life. It's like an oil painting at sometimes. Sometimes, now, not that I've ever used this stuff, but I'm thinking, is this what it looks like when you're on LSD? Because this is just so bizarre.
I can tell you firsthand, it is.
There you go.
I second that.
Yeah.
Got her locked in, baby.
And yeah, so never touch the stuff. So it's like, okay.
It's never too late to learn, Tim.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I don't need to because Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse takes us back into the multiverse, and Miles Morales is Spider-Man in a different universe. We still have Peter Parker, but now we're getting into the multiverse and different universes where Gwen Stacy has spider powers, and now all of a sudden we're looking at the Spider Society where there are hundreds of different versions, iterations, or whatever of Spider-Man, but they take different shapes and forms sometimes. Sometimes are spider dinosaurs. I mean, just really, really crazy stuff. And I think what keeps you watching it is that it doesn't settle on one sort of animation. I mean, it's not hand-drawn. It's not traditional, and it sounds weird to say this, but it's not traditional CGI. It's just different, and Brittany can attest to that, having seen that. So you get that, and that's cool, but here is where we run into problems. 2 hours and 20 minutes long, Tom.
Oh, see that
for
you
an
gotta knock
animated
it off.
film. I mean, now I have a pretty good tolerance if it's a good film, but it just seems to me that an animated film to me is at its best when it's between an hour and a half and an hour 45. But all of a sudden now we're talking about going down the same route that a lot of these live action films are taking, where they can't cut it off at the 2 hour mark. And this isn't a my butt's too tired or I got to go to the bathroom sort of thing. It's just, okay, there's a sequel coming to this one. Pack that extra 15 minutes into that next one and cut that one off or something, It just seems too excessive to me. But having said that, I really do believe there is an audience for this, okay? It's just that I'm to the point now where that cliff is, I'm almost over it with the superhero stuff. But
yeah.
I'm an old dude, okay? I mean, my time as far as, this new generation coming up, this is their thing. So I get that. So I'm not going to be a complete douche about it. I get it. So, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It's good. I just think now it's being overdone, and I've seen it so much before.
Right.
I mean, Sam Raimi took us to the multiverse with Doctor Strange last year, and that was great. But they didn't overdo it. Here it just seems like it's too ambitious for its own good.
I understand that completely.
So there it is with that one. I have to squeeze this in, Tom. I'm pretty sure you talked with her in another place in another time. Mary Tyler Moore?
Oh yeah, she was a terrific guest. She was. I thought she was a very, very nice person.
Okay, there's a new documentary, original documentary, Max, no longer HBO Max, Max. It is called Being Mary Tyler Moore. And, it's a chronicle of her entire life. Obviously, you get the Dick Van Dyke Show, the Mary Tyler Moore Show. But you get a lot of her life that we hadn't seen. Obviously, she had ordinary people, but there was a tragedy that came shortly after the release of that. I knew that she had lost a child, and, I'm sure that it's public knowledge, obviously. But it's just really, when you're watching a film like this, and when you kind of put it in the same context of ordinary people, and of course her deal with that was she was not your happy-go-lucky Mary Tyler Moore, in that she was a very different character. And to have that tragedy happen around that same time, I mean, it's a real gut punch. So I personally admired Mary Tyler Moore because she got type 1 diabetes when she was like 32, 33. And she lived with it for over 50 years. She did a lot for JDRF, which is Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. She raised $2 billion for that organization.
Isn't that great?
To me, Mary Tyler Moore, all that great TV stuff that she did. And she did a lot of stuff for people culturally, as far as women in the workplace and all that with that show. Not just entertainment, but culturally.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Shift. I just admire her for what she did to help folks like, just in this case, little kids, juvenile kids with diabetes and all that stuff, and raising the money and doing all that stuff. So yeah, it's a great documentary. It's tough to watch though, because ultimately she is gone, and it's sad because along with the great stuff, we do see some of the things that didn't quite go so well for her. So it's a necessary watch though, especially Tom, if you've interviewed her.
What's really funny about that, I was just going to bring that up to you because we only got about a minute left here, I know, but Mary Tyler Moore, Jane Fonda, I can keep going down the list for you. You could tell by sitting across the table from Mary Tyler Moore, somebody did some really bad things to her when she was a kid.
Well, the one thing that you find out with this film is that her mother was an alcoholic.
Yep.
And, that was something that she carried with her and actually had a problem herself at one point. So, yeah, you get into that childhood thing and that suffering, of that guilt that she felt of, is this because of me sort of thing going on. So, yeah, this is a very enlightening movie. And again,
I could
check it
bet.
out. But the one thing that I noticed right away, and my wife was watching it with me, this woman was destined for greatness, even from a kid. You just knew. So that's really cool when you see somebody that laser focused. And she led an extraordinary life. It died at age 80 just a few years ago.
Yeah, she did. And I will say this in her defense. When they found out that she didn't remember which bridge they tossed her son's ashes over, people criticized her horribly over that. I will tell you, if I ever lost a kid, I'd be so damn high at their funeral, I wouldn't even know where I am.
Oh, yeah.
So for people to criticize her over that is really wrong.
They usually use one interview that she did with this woman, Rona Barrett, in the documentary quite a bit, and you could just tell the pain was still there.
Oh God, yes.
And not only that, because she had failed marriages, Grant Tinker and some other people.
Don't bring up failed marriages in front of the people on this show.
I'm right here.
So she carried a lot of pain with her, throughout her life. So, yeah. And then quickly, the Minnesota stuff, obviously you get that with the Mary Tyler Moore. They actually have quick footage of her throwing out the first pitch at a Twins game with a Twins jersey on.
Did she fire it into the dugout?
She did. No, she was great. I really admired her. Never had the opportunity to talk with her. But I'm glad you did, Tommy. That's really, really cool.
All right, Pally, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, have a great weekend, Dougie. Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend.
Talk to you all again next week.
Thanks. Timmy Lammers, ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesdays with family, on Fridays with the morning show, and we will talk to you next week.